Coming to you from Crist Field here at Bemis Sturfer Stadium on the campus of Millersville University here in Pennsylvania. Hello, everybody. Yes, we are in the den today. And here on HSG Network, we present a big-time regular season finale between the visiting Tri-County Owls of Camden County and the Central Penn Hitmen. And we're hoping everybody is having a wonderful weekend. I'm Tom Wilkins, along with my co-partner, Reese Goodwin, with me today, and Howard Gaper, as always, behind the controls. Very important game. Winner gets the 2 seed, so wouldn't be surprised if we see a big, hard-hitting matchup here.
I love the intensity. They was talking all week, and everybody's been patiently waiting for this game.
And I'll be honest with you, you got 2 formidable teams. I mean, the Hitmen have really been a fantastic team. Of course, going back in the days of the Central Penn Piranha, it's actually Alumni Piranha Day here in Millersville, so we're going to be hopefully hearing from them later on the broadcast. As you notice, the Tri-County Owls, they won the toss, but they've chosen to make the choice in the second half, so it looks like the Hitmen are going to receive the ball today. So already Lester Cream's group is going to be hit on defense here.
I like making Dave trying to make him score first. Good decision. Dave has been the heart and soul of this offense all year. I figure like they should just put him on, try to get a 3 and out, and start to set the tone.
All right, well, let's go down the field for the playing of our national anthem, being presented today by the Lancaster Salvation Army Brass Band. Let's go hear them downstairs. All right, our national anthem here, again performed by the Lancaster Salvation Army Brass Band. Nice job by them here this evening here at Millersville University. Now, here's what we know before we get started with today's game. We know the Hitmen are either going to be a 2 or a 3 seed. Now, the Owls, they'll be a 2 seed with a win, but they'll be a 3 seed if they lose, but they need the Herd to lose as well. As far as the Herd go, they could be seeded anywhere between 3 and 6. The Jackals could be a 4 or a 6 seed. The Unit could be a 5 or a 6 seed when all this is said and done. Obviously, a lot of things to keep track of. It almost sounds like Week 18 of the NFL, doesn't it, with all these scenarios?
Yeah. Now it's just time to put in all the hard work you used all season, get the win, and hopefully don't depend on nobody else to hold your destiny.
Well, we can only hope for the best. As we mentioned, Tri-County, they won the toss, but they're going to choose in the second half. So they'll be kicking off to the Hitmen, who are in their home black uniforms with lime green trim. And you'll notice as well the Tri-County Owls, they are going to be all whites. White pants, white uniforms, white numbers. Wish me luck with these things.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the white numbers from this top, but up close they look good, but from being up here, I don't like it.
Yeah, it is hard, but we'll do the best we can with what we got. Referee blows his whistle, and we are about to get underway for the finale of the season. A very short directional kickoff taken by one of the up and about the 40-yard line and brought down about the 46-yard line. So that was David Agbanaya out of Bethlehem. We've called his name a number of times, of course, in the semi-pro world and other leagues.
Big dog Obi plays everywhere.
and Curtis was able to make the tackle on that play. So it will be the Hitmen, and they're going to spot the ball just outside the 47-yard line. And, of course, quarterbacking for the Hitmen is veteran Dave Legree, who's number 8, and he's out of Brooklyn, New York. Of course, he's been with a lot of other semi-pro teams and had tremendous success. I see this being a very good matchup here. So
yeah, and you gave them great numbers to start the game off.
Unfortunately, there is a flag down right at the very beginning, and it's going to be on the Hitman for a substitution violation. Looks like 12. Yep, 12 men in the huddle looks like. So an inauspicious start for the Hitmen there. Just to let you know, this game is presented by WeatherTie Exteriors, who provides the highest quality roofing services for their customers. From the very beginning working, we'll be sure to keep your home dry and well taken care of. We'll get the rest of the sponsor in momentarily, as it is 1st and 15 now at the 42-yard line. Here's Legree with a short snap. Handoff. And, there's a loose football. Lamoureux had it and then lost it. We'll see who recovers it. That was a very slow developing play, but it looks like the Hitman fell on it.
Yeah, it's not too great of a start. Got the pitch, tried to make a move, and got caught sort of from the back. Coughed the ball right up.
Well,
luckily, he got it back, though.
Well, the funny a lucky bounce there, and even luckier yet, they were able to gain a yard on that play.
Yeah, Daniel Curtis played it sloppy. He could have dove on the ball.
2nd and 14. Ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. They got 2 receivers left side. We'll see what Legree does in the shotgun with a man to his left.
Motion.
They send a man in motion. Back he goes, looking. He's going to run it. He'll cross midfield. There he goes to the 40. He'll have a first down, diving all the way at the 34-yard line. So a gain of 23 yards on that one. Tackled by Deron Maxwell.
Yeah, probably going to be hearing his name a lot today. Both sides, Dave Legree and Maxwell.
Well, considering they do play on, I guess, both sides of the field, you have to consider they're going to be very active. So the question is, why do you think Maxwell is going to be a key part of this game?
He is a great athlete, speed, vision, and he can anticipate a lot of things that the offense runs. So he's probably going to be basically almost their quarterback for the defense.
So 1st and 10 from the 34 is Legree will throw a short pass, and it is taken to about the 23-yard line. That's Kristen Europe.
Tackled by Joseph Teller.
And Europe is able to, it looks like he got 9. He's a yard short of a first down unless they're moving the sticks, but he thought he had gotten the first down, but I guess his knee went down, so the official spotted a yard short. So a gain of 9 for Europe. And I think the key is trying to keep the Tri-County Owls off guard and make sure they get the opening score. And that's one thing Central Penn has always loved to do. Oh, and now we got a timeout called by the Hitmen. So we're going to keep it here. Just so you know, we'll tell you that this game, and we're going to do the sponsor again, presented by WeatherTight Exteriors, who provides the highest quality roofing services for their customers. From the very beginning of working, they'll make sure they keep your home dry and well cared for. So whether you're in need of roof repair or replacement or other projects in the Royersford, Pennsylvania and surrounding areas, they have you covered. Contact WeatherTie Exteriors today at 610-686-7303. Again, 610-686-7303. Of course, one of the big sponsors here. This is a big game between the Owls and the Hitmen. Opening drive of this game, just 2:17 in. What do you have at this point, Reese, in this opening drive?
For the opening drive, the Hitmen, they look good. They've been moving the ball consistently so far. The Owls need to come up with some big stops right now. You don't want to give up 7 on the first series, but sometimes it happens. You started off with short field position because the short kick put yourself in a bad position almost.
Which is possible, but they also have to make sure their plays develop a lot faster, too.
Yeah.
So 2nd and a yard as Legree's in the shotgun. And again, a slow snap. He's going to call his own number and crash his way to about the 23, which should be enough for a first down, depending on what the spot is.
They called it first.
Yeah, it will be a first down, but it's only a 1-yard pickup. So they move the chains, and Legree, again, he's used to carrying up teams on his back, and he's doing it right here in this opening drive. 23-yarder the first time, and just 1 yard here, but it's good enough to move the 6. So for the Owls, how do you try and contain them?
I feel like the Owls have good corners, so they should be able to hold the wide receivers. But if they can't hold the wide receivers, he gonna have a field day.
Well, Legree definitely has shown the experience there. They're going to go spread here on first down.
Cody.
There's a handoff. It's Cody Lamoureux, who maybe gets a yard. They're going to say about the 23-yard line. I'll tell you, the Owls were swarming that time, Reese.
Yeah, they need to do this all game because the Hitmen are going to feed Cody a lot. He usually gets about maybe 10 to 15 carries a game, and normally he makes the most of his opportunities. So they got 2 good stops on him today so far. They got to do this all day, though.
Well, Wallace with the stop there at 2nd and 9 to 23-yard line. We'll see what they decide to do here as they will go 4 receivers tripling on the left side. Back to the right of Legree, who is in his shotgun. Staying in the stance is the Owls defense, but they put pressure. Here's a shot on the left side. It's a one-hopper intended for Europe, incomplete.
He was open, too.
Was it just a case of miscommunication, or was the
Legree?
I
think it was the pressure. Pressure got to him a little faster than he wanted. He couldn't plant his feet the way he wanted. The defensive end kind of got around the edge into his face. Almost, yeah.
Hey, of course, Reese was one of those defensive ends, so he knows that position extraordinarily well.
And they got a speed guy playing defensive end. You got one speed guy, one power guy who a lot of teams like to go to. One speed, one power now. It's just they just changed the whole culture now.
So 3rd and 9 from the 23-yard line. They go spread this time. Back is out to the left of Legree, who takes the snap. Looking, waiting. Well, he's got a lot of time. And now he'll lob it. It's a high catch.
Ooh.
Now, great grab on the part of Evan Morrill out of Hummelstown. The 5'11 receiver able to come down with a jump ball.
Climb the ladder.
Right at the 10-yard line. That's a first down. Be first and goal to 10.
Climb.
A 13-yard pickup.
Climb the ladder.
I mean, for a 5'11 receiver to climb the ladder like that, that is a heck of a catch. And that makes it goal to go because the ball is right on that 10. So we'll see how the Hitmen try and go with first and goal. And I think what they're going to do is 3 wide slot left here. Extra
right.
back on the line here. Here's a play fake by Legree. He will zing that one. Pass is incomplete. And Morrow was the intended receiver that time. Legree still has a lot of speed on his throws.
Yeah. Still can put it there probably the same way he did when he was fresh out of college, ready for the pros.
And how long has he been playing this game?
Oh, don't get me the line. I only met him and learned about him maybe 2018, but he was already a winner before then. Whether it was arena, semi-pro, college, he was already a runner before I met him.
We've seen him many, many times in our broadcast, and he has done some magical, magical things regardless of what the weather is. Wind is a little bit in his face here. Here at 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line as they line up in the same formation as the last play. This time they do give to Lamoureux, and he is going to be stuffed at about the 7, it looks like.
Yeah, about the 7.
So pick up a 3, it looks like.
Was that number 35?
Yep, that would be Zion Patterson of Carlisle, which is a little bit to the west of here. And it looks like play is stopped for a moment to reset some things. So, something to also consider in this game, folks, and we have not done this very often, but in this league they're using the 40-second clock. The 40-second play clock is being used here. So, and you'll notice in the top left on this goal-to-go situation, you see the 40 up there? That is what you got to look for. Now, for whatever reason, oh, here we go. Now it's the 25-second clock, but they'll run it down because there was a stoppage in play.
It was an injury to number 72, George Russell,
the
center.
Well, hopefully he's all right here. That could be something regarding a snap exchange. But here we go on 3rd and goal. Here's Legree back. He's being chased. There's a flag down. Now, he could run to the end zone if he wants as he gets to a tackle. However, I don't think that is going to stand because that is a hold on the Hitman.
I think it was on number 51. I'm not 100%, but it looked like it was number 51 on the hold. He grabbed the DN as he came around.
98% of the time when you see a flag going that offensive backfield, you kind of pretty much could assume it's holding. But I mean, once in a while it gets some other interesting calls, but generally that's a holding call, and that is a big 10-yard penalty on the Hitmen.
Especially when you got a touchdown.
Yeah, especially now you got third and goal from the 17-yard line.
Yeah.
And right now, Legree, the way we're looking right now, he's thrown for 22 yards, but he's only 2 for 4. But he's also been known to be starting a little slow, but as the game picks up, he tends to be a bit more accurate, and we've seen that many a time.
Get a little bit warmer, get a little bit more comfortable. You just kind of figure out what the team's been doing because the tape, they changed everything up. So,
well, the wind is blowing left to right here, so I knew I was going to call them that. The Hitmen were going to call that at one point. Here's third and goal as Legree is back. He's going to fire one, and it's incomplete. Looked like that was headed for Jarrell Fleming, but it ends up firing a bit wide, and that holding penalty proves costly for Central Penn as they'll be fourth down. We'll see what they do.
They're going for it, not bringing in the kicker.
And keep in mind that the Hitmen do have a kicker. And they do have 2 of them. So if they were to try a field goal, it would be a 34-yarder right now. But with the wind in their face, that probably would give head coach Ron Kerr second thoughts of doing that.
Not with the kicker they got. Only from the 20-yard line. I would have still took the kick, but I'm not coaching, so I'm going to let him keep making his decisions. But if I'm the Owls, I'm looking at this like, y'all disrespectful that y'all don't want to take the 3 points. And sometimes these 3 points early in the game could end up costing them, but they called timeout now. They ran out of time.
Oh, could that be the play clock is 0, and we may have a delay of game.
2 timeouts. So
they did take a timeout prior, so what do you know?
Now there's 2 timeouts they used already.
On the opening drive of the game, and that could prove costly toward the end of the half. So as we
they pushed the clock up.
Oh, okay. Maybe they didn't call a timeout. I'm sorry.
No timeout.
So it is not a timeout. It was just a problem with the play clock, and that's why they're resetting. So we're not exactly sure what the deal was there, but no penalty. It's still going to be fourth and goal from the 17-yard line.
Now, if the play clock is supposed to start once the ball is set, why would they raise it up if it seemed like to me he started a little later?
That's a very interesting point here. So fourth and goal from the 17. And they're going to line up with an empty gun quad right. Legree back, and he's going to roll right. He's going to fire it.
Vito
and
Hatchell.
Is it caught?
Vito Hatchell, number 6.
It is indeed caught. How about that? Welcome to the end zone. What a surprise catch there. As that was Vito Hatchell from Philly, who was able to bring it down on fourth and goal at the 17. Literally, he was on the goal line when he brought it down. And the Hitmen get the first points, and they are bailed out after that big holding penalty. So, Reese, what happened there on that play? And I don't know if we're going to get a replay in after the extra point, but you'll have to.
It looked like he almost ran a post and just sat in a soft spot. But he could have just went into the end zone and just stopped and turned around. But it looked.
Yeah, we'll check it out after the conversion. Just remember that in this league, they do NFL-style extra points. Here's a snap, kick on its way, and with 9:21 left in the first, a 7-0 lead for the Hitmen as the Owls will get their first drive in a moment, but we need to check out that touchdown catch by Hatchell, which, that was pretty impressive what they did. Presented by Accidental Digital. No accident here, Reese. What'd you see?
Oh, yeah, he ran a stop. He just stopped and sat in the soft spot. Post, stop. And just stopped and sat in the soft spot. And when you got a quarterback for a rocket of an arm, you can do that. He ain't throwing no light passes.
Yeah, interesting end zone celebration to say the least. But I'll tell you this, Reese, when you line up empty gun quad right, I mean, you would have to figure that most would be going in that direction, but they kind of went under with the catch. And that's where the Hitmen had the advantage there. And you got a person like Hatchell, who's only 5'7", and he was able to be a good possession receiver there.
It was.
So for the Hitmen, they are able to get the first points. Now let's see if the Owls can respond. Here is a kickoff, and it'll be taken at about the 7-yard line. Trying to get around the left side to the 25 and rushed out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That was Devon Maxwell. We had
No,
talked
that was
about him.
Nadir Smith, number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 7. My bad.
Number 2.
Nathaniel Ball. That would be a Nadir Smith out of Philly, who was able to come through with that.
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime, it'll be the Owls' first possession. We're going to see Dimitri Davis out of Toms River, who has led the Owls with quite a bit of success this year. What have you seen from him?
He actually came in a little later in the season. I think he sat out the first game, and he came alive during the Seminoles game. He had a little welcome-in party, maybe the second or third quarter, and he's been electrifying ever since.
Well, Dimitri, he is 3rd in the league in rushing, 3rd in the league in passing, too. You don't find too many quarterbacks like that. So 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line as Davis is going to hand this one off, bouncing off a tackle and fighting his way to about the 30, and then that's about it. So about a 2-yard pickup there.
From the 28?
Yes, that would be Micaiah Caesar out of Newark, who was able to come through with the run. So 2-yard pickup, forcing a 2nd and 8, and I think the attack for Cream on offense is work up the middle, and there's just been a lot of bouncing around, but sometimes trying to run straight ahead might be the issue.
Yeah, I was always like north to south runners. I don't really like the east to west guys, but sometimes they can get the job done just as well. But I'm more of a old school power running back north and south. But I've seen him against the unit. He's very shifty. So do whatever makes it work for you.
Well, spotted at the 31-yard line. The clock is at 0. And we're going to have our first delay of game penalty, which will back up the Owls 5 yards.
Now, if I'm the Owls, I'm going to say, why you ain't push it up for me?
I mean, hey, everyone has a point there on both sides of the ball here. So we'll try it again. So now it'll be 2nd and 12, it looks like, from the 26-yard line. Not exactly what Davis and company wanted to have here, and now one of the coaches has walked onto the field saying, okay, what exactly is going on here? So we're going to see exactly what happens. So while we have an official timeout, this game is presented by TapeMeUp.net with trainer Steve, who reminds you that if you suffer from chronic joint pain or instability during training or competitive activity, Tape Me Up may be a remedy. With 10 years of experience in the athletic training profession, they're fully capable and prepared to tackle many of your athletic taping needs. For more information on with trainer Steve and Tape Me Up, visit TapeMeUp.net. So we're near the halfway point of this first quarter. The Hitmen scored in their opening drive. This is the opening drive of the Tri-County Owls from Camden County, New Jersey. Davis in the shotgun here on 2nd and 12 from the 26. Back the pass. Got the wind in his back. Going to take a shot downfield. Just a little bit high and incomplete.
I felt like he had him. 18 Mims. Is his name Mims?
That is Robert Sims. From Hanover. From Maryland, actually, in Hanover. So now you've been playing semi-pro so long. I mean, you know these guys better than me because you've been playing with them on the field.
A lot of these people, I either played with them or played against them, and I'm talking probably 80 to 90% of these people. That's crazy.
And I'm sure you did well, and I
did all right.
Hey, years later, you're probably saying no hard feelings to all those people.
I did all right to a lot of these people.
3rd and 12 from the 26. Davis back in the shotgun. They go spread here, back to the right. As Davis back to pass, he'll have a little time. He'll lob it. Pass caught, but a little short of a first down. And about the 37-yard line.
Darnell Weidman?
Might be Weidman.
Yeah,
that would have to be Darnell Weidman, who's out of Brookhaven. And he's about a half a yard short. He actually got a generous spot. He looked a little short, but didn't expect to be half a yard.
I felt like he was way shorter than that, but generous spot by the ref.
Sometimes you extend, and it's where the knee goes down.
If I'm on Central Penn, I'm mad at the spot. But if I'm on the Owls, I'm happy with it.
Do you call quarterback draw on 4th and a half a yard?
I would not.
Well, we'll see. They do the handoff, and they will get the first down to 41-yard. And that was a very quick handoff that time.
It was, and you called it quarterback draw. Me personally, 7-0. I would like to go more for the field position game. Your defense did good. They got a penalty that helped them. They started off on short distance from the bad kickoff, but I like my defensive chances because it's probably because now I'm a defensive player, so I like my defensive chances, get better field position, and start over. But
I don't think Davis had the ball. I think it was his running back next to him.
no, he got
Davis
the
kept it.
he got the ball and just went right up north to south.
When it's all white, it's very confusing.
Yeah, it is.
1st and 10, the ball spot at the 41-yard line. The line spread yet again. Now they do the handoff, and nice second effort to about the 44-yard line there. And once again, that's Caesar.
Yeah, and that was more of a east to west run, but it got him 4 yards. 3 yards, 3 to 4.
Yeah, 3-yard pickup. The thing was, it looked like it was going to be a 1-yard loss early, but second effort got him over to that point.
I wonder, whoever that DN is, looked like he pushed the tackle all the way into the backfield.
Well, you also want to make sure you push him in the correct direction so that the opposition does not get those positive yards.
As soon as he got the ball, the defender was right in front of him with the lineman in between them.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Davis tries another long pass with the wind at his back here. 2nd down, they play fake. There's a juke move, and there's that lob. That wasn't really much of a spiral, but it's caught anyway at about the 23-yard line.
23 from the
so that's a 34-yard pickup there, or 33-yard pickup there, and Weidman was able to make the grab. That was more like a helicopter than a spiral thrown by Davis, but it did the job. And how'd Weidman get open like that?
It looked like he just ran a fly, and if Demetrius would have had better time, he probably could have got it out the ball in front of him and probably got 7.
Well, keep him. And I was going to say, we were going to show you stats going into this game, but we'll do that a little bit later here. But in any case, 1st and 10. Oh, a fumbled snap, and that's not going to work. And what is this? They throw the ball, it is caught, and then a case of Keystone Cops, given the state that we're in, ends up being a huge loss on the play. I don't know exactly how that was designed, but once the ball was fumbled, that was a big problem.
To me, I think that's Dimitri's. I think that's his worst habit. He does that a lot, and I don't like it at all. I think that's his worst habit, just trying to force it. I understand you got a bad snap and the ball was on the ground, so it kind of messed the play up. But he intends to do that a lot, where he just throws it or tries to get the ball away at the last second, and it turns out like that.
Ended up being a 9-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 19. Keep in mind, you got stats on the screen. Now a snap over his head, and he still loses the ball, and now he's all the way back in his own territory. All the way back to his own 45-yard line. Ouch.
Yeah, that's
23-yard loss.
Two bad snaps back to back after y'all was at the what?
46. That was a 22-yard loss.
Y'all went from the 23-yard line to the others 46. 2 bad snaps, and now y'all go from scoring position to almost playing punt.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like you're looking at a 3rd and 40 at this point.
Yeah. After the drive was going so well, too.
Well, we'll see what Davis does here. Under 3 minutes left here in the first. And the Hitmen looking to come charging here. A high snap. Luckily, Davis catches this one. He's going to go short, but it's thrown a little bit high. And the pass goes incomplete. So a very unfortunate series of events for the Owls. They had gotten close to being in the red zone, then unfortunately went the wrong way. Now they're going to have the punt.
Yeah. After the 4th down conversion, you had a little momentum. Then you get the long pass to Darnell Wadman, get him right up to the edge of the red zone, and then you get 2 bad snaps to take you right back out. And you needed that. Hitmen scored on that opening drive. You want to reciprocate that and keep the momentum going, give your defense a little bit of help, but it's a long game.
Well, tough break for the Owls. Coming into punt is Marcus Lawless out of Burlington. And they've got Javante Haynes out of Bethlehem out to return.
Good punt.
It's a nice punt. Look, and it looks like he's going to bounce to Haynes, and he's going to try and return it at the 15. He dropped the ball,
And the Owls recovered?
And the Owls look like they've recovered. Now, keep them. We got flagged down to it about the 20-yard line. So we're going to see what this is all about, too. There could be holding during the kick. But the Owls did recover, and what an enormous break that is if that penalty is against the Hitmen.
Now they get the ball right back where they was at from the start.
Yeah, the flag is down to 30. Referee today is Keith Dolman. He will make the official call there.
That would have been where their first down was at.
And how ironic it would have been right at that first down marker. They end up punting for a first down. They get the ball right back.
These the kind of you don't want him. Yeah.
So the block is against the Hitmen. So it was a hold or a block in the back during the kick. So it is on the Hitmen. So a huge break as that penalty is thrown out. And the Owls are back in action and in the red zone. And they're thinking, hey, we designed the opening drive that way, didn't we?
Yeah. Costly turnover for the Hitmen.
So the Owls are now in the red zone at the 14-yard line. And we'll see if Davis gets a chance at redemption here. 1st and 10.
If I'm the Owls, I'm going a little pick play between Sims and Nadir, a little post and post corner action.
Well, we'll see if you're right, Reese. Waiting for the snap coming up on 5 on the play clock. They'll take a quick screen. It is going to about the 10 and down to about the 6-yard line.
4-yard gain.
Gain of 8.
Gain of 8.
Yep, good catch by, I'm sorry, I had the wrong page again. Nadir Smith. So Smith ends up getting 8 on the play. So forces, actually I'm going to say the ball's at the 8-yard line rather. So it's a gain, we're going to say a gain of 7. Well, sometimes you have to, well, I can't help that when the marker, I mean, you think it's a gain of 8, but I'm like, that's the longest 2 yards I've ever seen.
Was it a flag or?
No, I guess the knee was down at the 7. So, so 2nd and 3, and all of a sudden the clock is running again.
Oh, it was 2 flags. They picked unsportsmanlike on both teams.
Oh, okay. There were flags at the end of the play for unsportsmanlike. So the play counts. It was an after the play penalty on both sides. So they're just gonna have to reset things. There shouldn't be a.
It was dead ball. It was dead ball penalties, unsportsmanlike on both teams. So
well, obviously, both sides are very hype, especially after every play.
Yeah, they talked a lot to each other this week, all on social media. So I was expecting a lot of energy from both sides.
I think we've seen that too. As a clock, they're trying to fix the clock situation following the penalties. So with 2:03 left in the first, of course, the touchdown for the Hitmen happened with Vito Hatchell's 4th and goal catch on the opening drive. Now looks like the Owls trying to match it as they're going to be facing 2nd and 3 from the Hitmen 7-yard line. So
I like this play clock in the back of the end zone. I've never experienced playing with that. I love it.
All right, so they've reset the clock yet again. Now we're running under 2 minutes left here in the first. Davis with a back to his right, that same spread format here. 2nd and goal from the 3. I'm sorry, from the 7, and now everybody's jumping, and the pass ends up going outside there, so it's incomplete. But if the penalty is against the Hitmen, which we believe it is, it's going to be 1st and goal now for the Owls, half the distance.
Yeah, it should be 1st down. If I'm Demetrius and that was a free play, if he throws that slant, the guy on the slant looked like he was wide open. But in the midst of the play, I might have missed it. But it looked like he was wide open. So that would have been a free play for a touchdown, but he threw to the outside guy. Probably ran a hitch.
Well, it also helps when you have the Hitman crossing the line of scrimmage and in your face before you get the ball. It's like, uh-oh, I got to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Just in case the officials miss that call. But they didn't hear, so it's 1st and goal as the ball is spotted right outside the 4-yard line. Davis is thrown for 40 already. Here's a handoff up the middle. Did he break the plane? Yes, he did. Welcome to the end zone. The touchdown run for Micaiah Caesar of Newark. A 4-yard strike, and the Owls respond a little bit unconventionally, but they responded nonetheless.
Yeah, that's what they needed. They needed to respond to the Hitmen touchdown. The Hitmen had a costly turnover that gave the Owls back the ball in great field position, and they did what you expect. Well, what you wanted them to do, not what you expect. Well, it's kind of expected too.
Well, the Owls are going for 2 because they do not have a kicker on their roster. So we'll see what they decide to do. As they'll line up the same way this time. They line up at the 2-yard line for the conversion. Davis will run it, and he's got it. Davis for the 2-point conversion, and the Owls have the lead. Each team scores in their opening drive, and the Owls convert on the 2-point conversion to take an 8-7 lead, and they get points off of that Hitman punt turnover. Why don't we take a look at the replay, and Reese, you can explain what happened here in regards to what Caesar was able to slice through for the end zone. What'd you see on that line?
Oh, they got great push. The Hitmen, I don't think got down fast enough, and they hiked the ball really fast, and they got pushed off the line immediately. So he just followed. He went north to south this time, though. I tell him that. Well, way to go north to south in the red zone.
And that's very important too. And the quick snap call by Lester Cream definitely helped. That was a very important thing as far as the play was concerned. So for the Owls, they respond with 1:24 left in the first and with an 8-7 lead. Now going into this game, we mentioned Dimitri Davis was third in quarterback passing and rushing. Davis had run for 298 yards behind Connie Glover of the Herd and Cody Lamoureux of the Hitmen. And he was third in the league in passing behind Gerald Wilson of the Seminoles and Dave Legree, of course, of these same Hitmen. So kickoff taken by an upman about the 22.
Cody.
And Lamoureux is going to run it to the 40 down to about the 43. So for the Hitmen, I'll tell you what, that's a heads-up returning by Cody Lamoureux. Field awareness there got the Hitmen in very nice field position to start their next drive.
Well, this one, if they start this one at, the 43, this would be maybe 4 yards from the last one. And the last one, they marched straight down the field and got a fourth down touchdown.
That was a 22-yard pickup, and a ball spot right at the 44. So that is where the Hitmen will start, and we'll see what Legree does for an encore on 1st and 10. By the way, while you have a second, make sure, for those of you watching this for the first time, make sure you subscribe to HSG Network. Like, follow, do whatever you have to. Got a lot of other stuff coming up, especially with the Den for later this month. So subscribe so you can get the details and tell your friends about the HSG Network. Here on a handoff on 1st down, it ends up going for about 4. And it's Cody Lamoureux. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to say the 48-yard line. So a gain of 4 for Lamoureux forces a 2nd and 6. Again, dive up the middle.
Lamoureux has been running hard. He's been earning his yards today.
And it's only the first quarter, so he's got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
Now, Lamoureux, he began the day with 318 rushing yards. So you know he's going to try and put some more on the ground here as we get into the final 45 seconds of this first quarter, and the Owls by 1. Spread out here on 2nd and 6. This is another handoff, and there's Lamoureux again, getting close to the 1st down, but he's about a yard short, but he is in plus territory at the 47-yard line.
Just shy of 1st down. Running hard, nice little 6-yard run. When you running like this, why put the ball in the air?
Well, here's the other question. Did the Hitmen notice a little bit of a soft spot in the middle of the zone for the Owls?
That read option. You got to respect the read option. You got to respect it because you got Dave who can run it, and then he can also throw it quickly out of it. So you got to respect it. It holds the DNs like no other. One of the worst packages as a DN that you hate because you can't rush.
All right, well, we've reached quarter time here in Millersville. The Owls lead the Hitmen 8-7. We'll take a break. Quarter number 2 comes your way after this.
Can we shut off the bottom fan so we can hear the delays? Where's the electrician?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire in the hole!
Okay, we're back here for quarter number 2 here at Millersville University. 8-7 in favor of the Owls over the Hitmen. Hitmen with a 3rd and a yard. As Legree is in the shotgun here, and he's going to call his own number, and he'll get the first down as he crosses the 45 down to the 44-yard line.
Easy money.
Usually it's easy money. But it's been 3 straight runs. Lamoureux has a couple, and now Legree has one to 6 move. So that's where we are, beginning play of the second quarter here at Millersville University. Beeman Sturfer Stadium at Christ Field, a little bit outside Lancaster, Pennsylvania, for those who are wondering where that is. Anyway, I'm Tom Wilkins. It's Reese Goodwin next to me, and, of course, Howard Gaber taking care of the controls as always. Well, he's doing his best. We all know that.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Well, all right, so 1st and 10 for the 44-yard line. They do the handoff, and they switch their backs here. Not going to be for much.
Number 42, Marquise Edwards.
So Edwards from Philly ends up going through, and he only gets back to the line of scrimmage. I think his knee went down, so no gain on the play. And I think maybe the Owls have noticed, they got to close up the middle very quickly, and I think they finally figured that out.
Yeah, I think he didn't run as hard as Cody, or they just didn't block for him as hard as Cody.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far. I think the Owls did a better job reading that play up the middle that time. So,
yeah, I like to start stuff.
2nd and 10 for the 44. Legree awaits, and he'll grab the snap. Has plenty of time. He'll zing it, and he threw it to Lancaster. Incomplete. They went in the direction of Jarnell Fleming, and he couldn't quite come up with it. I was wondering if there was like a late rush from the back, which forced Legree to throw a little bit earlier than he would have liked.
I think they had a late blitz from Curtis come around the end, and the running back stepped up in the pocket, and then he just kind of delayed it and came around the outside, and he couldn't get to him in time. Forced a bad pass. It was a good pass, but it just wasn't on target.
And obvious, and now we got the wind at your back. The ball can actually do some very interesting things here. All right, so
that was going right.
It's a swirling wind variable, but anyway, they go 4 receivers, triple right on 3rd and 10. As being rushed is Legree. There's a flag down. The pass is caught for a first down. However, somewhere around the 48-yard line, we got a flag down.
It looked like it was holding on the interior.
It didn't.
But either the Dave has to not go as far back, or the tackles have to get their kick step better, because these both ends came right around both sides.
That's the second holding penalty on 3rd down against the Hitmen. One took away a score, which they later were able to make up for. But now you go from 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 20, and you're back in your own territory at your 46 because of it.
Maybe for the Hitmen, it's good luck.
Yeah, well, with Legree, he can turn 3rd and X equaling anything double digits into a first down in a hurry.
Yeah, they did well converting last time, so let's see.
Regardless of who he plays for, that's really what it is.
Let's see what Kerr drew up on the drawing board for this 3rd and long.
All right, and I don't know if they're going to spread the Owls' defense. What do you think they should play?
Spread, no running backs, 5 wide.
Yeah, they go empty gun, heavy left here. Quick snap to Legree. He's going back. He's got time. Now he's being rushed. He waits. He's going to lob it. And the pass is caught. Oh, my goodness gracious. Welcome to the end zone. Evan Morrell, like I said, magic on 3rd and fill in the blank. He did it again. 54 yards to the house.
Yeah, I don't know if Joseph Teller thought the play was dead, but he kind of had his feet in quicksand watching the quarterback, and number 7, Evan Morrell, just snuck behind him and was wide open,
and it was a picture-perfect pass, too.
And another 3rd down and long conversion for a touchdown, but this time no penalty.
I'm still saying to myself, how does he do it? He has 93 yards passing already here in the first half, and already his 2nd touchdown pass. First it's Hatchell, and now Morrill has one. Ian Olch is going to try the extra point here. Making the first one. Here's a snap. Kick on its way, and despite the wind, he got it. Kick is good.
What was that, about 50 yards? Well, the touchdown.
54-yard touchdown strike. We're going to show you the replay in a moment that Morrill caught it. But while we go ahead and do a quickie here, this game presented by ServPro. Yes, you're wondering why you're choosing ServPro. With more than 2,100 locations nationwide, serving 97% of all U.S. zip codes within 2 hours and always available. Just remember, an emergency can happen anytime, and we're going to go ahead and read the rest of it after we see the replay.
Oh, yeah, from about the 45.
And he almost crossed the line, too. But it was a perfect pass.
Yeah.
In double coverage, and the two defenders, pinpoint.
When I was watching it looked like they all just started seeing was he going to run the ball, and they all kind of just stopped. And then Evan Morrell just kept backpedaling.
That was really a phenomenal play for Legree. Again, a 54-yard touchdown strike to Morrill. And that is why the Hitmen have regained the lead. So each team has had possessions, and each team has scored touchdowns on possessions.
Way to keep the play alive.
All right, kickoff taken by one of the Hitmen about the 11-yard line.
It's number 2, Nadir Smith.
Oh, he can turn the corner maybe. He'll get to the 40-yard line and get bumped out of bounds at about the 45. We'll see what they spot. Might get a couple more yards after that. While they do that, let me finish the rest of the sponsor. An emergency can happen at any time, and ServPro's customer care center is ready to take your call day or night. Just call ServPro for immediate assistance, as they have highly trained professionals with more than 50 years of experience. They've earned a reputation as the #1 serving group in the cleanup and restoration industry, and they specialize in fire and water damage, specialty cleaning, mold, and a lot more. That's why you choose ServPro. Call 1-800-ServPro or visit servpro.com for more details. And while we go ahead and take a look here, Dimitri Davis, we can also mention him. Opening drive, 4 of 6 for 40 yards, but then again, opening drive part 1 and part 2. Of course, part 2 came after the Hitman turnover. Well, the ball is spotted at the 49-yard line, so 1st and 10. Davis is going to try and run it, and he's going to push his way to the 45-yard line. So a gain of 4, and I'm actually surprised, Reese, at the spot of the ball. We thought he was going to be out of bounds like at a 46, but I guess something was added on.
Yeah, from up here, we don't know where they're going to spot the ball. It seems like we was wrong maybe 4 out of 3 times.
Possible, maybe an unintentional face mask. So that might have been an extra 5 on there. But anyway,
Yeah.
Gain of 4 on the play for Davis, and it's 2nd and 6. Ball spotted at the Hitmen 45-yard line. They go with the spread again. Let's see what they do here. Whoops! Oh, and no whistle. So Davis is going to try and, he pump fakes. Now he's going to run and get to about the 35-yard line. Now a late flag comes in. I cannot figure that one out.
I can't figure it.
So
Sideline warning.
Oh, it's a sideline. I guess a sideline warning. That came at the end of the play, and head coach Ron Kerr's like the old Onyx album.
Yeah. Sideline warning on the Hitman.
If you can see on the bottom of your screen, you'll notice right where the stats are, there is a black boundary line. And that means the Hitmen were standing a bit too close. You can't stand in the black, but stand in the green, and you're okay. So they're making sure everybody is in the proper place. So. But amazingly enough, it's going to be a 1st down for the Owls. They catch a big break there. As the ball is spotted to 33 after that 12-yard gain by Davis. And that's why he's 3rd in the league in passing and rushing. And here he's going to try and rush again, crossing the 30, and he hurdles. And I thought he landed a little funny. Gets about the 28-yard line.
I definitely thought he landed a little funny. Could have just been our angle from up top.
Maybe Zion Patterson with a stop. You have to understand, from our broadcasting position, we are way back yonder somewhere in York County, I think. I mean, you're still in Pennsylvania, but obviously the vantage point isn't as close as we normally would see it. But that's the way we get sometimes. 2nd and 5, ball spotted to 28-yard line after that 5-yard pickup. Again, same formation for Davis as he's trying to direct traffic here. This is a handoff up the middle, sneaking through for a 1st down into the red zone.
That was a great run.
Yeah, nice run.
put his foot in the ground and went straight north. I love it.
Caesar again, pick up a 9. And I'll tell you, and then they're going up tempo here. They're trying to catch the Hitmen off guard. Same formation, 1st and 10 from the 19. And again, it's Caesar, same play. Jukes around at 15. Boy, he's not going down. He's going to about the 10-yard line for another 9-yard pickup. Boy, I can easily draw like a kid finding the direction as to how he ran that last play.
Yeah, another 9-yard pickup, back to back.
And now we do have an owl that is shaken up on the play. So why don't we look at the quarterback leaders for a moment while we have this injury delay. You'll notice, of course, up top, G-Block in the house, Gerald Wilson of the Seminoles. You can see on the screen that he leads in passing 20 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That is fantastic.
I'm looking for him to get another 4 again today against the Soldiers.
Well, so I guess that's the other matchup here. You see Dave Legre is second, only 4 interceptions. Davis, of course, he now has, and of course he's third, followed by Kilo Trotman and Cruz. And then rushing, you'll see Connie Glober of the Garden State Herd, 406 rushing yards going into play. And then Lamoureux, Davis, Legre, and Nahum Purdy of the unit, who is 5th. You'll notice that Dimitri, he's rushed for 3 scores. And he's rushed for 4, and he's made 3 2-point conversions. I believe he made his 4th on his opening drive. And from the receiving part, we see Decry Mims leading for the Brooklyn Seminoles with 710 receiving yards. Now, he is by far well ahead of everyone else. Lance Fisher, Evan Morrill, Ronald Butler, Nadir Smith. Of course, Morrill and Smith we're seeing here in this game today.
Yeah.
Some good receivers here.
I have played with Nadir Smith on the Ducks and the Jaguars. I've played against Butler countless times and Fisher. Actually, we played Lance Fisher in the championship for the LAL.
And that was last fall, right?
Yeah, he probably had 90 yards on us.
Well, you're trying to work on some graphics here. Give us a sec.
I think the person down is Curtis Jones, the offensive lineman. Number 72.
Yeah, they're still working on. Here we go. You got the tackles leaders here, and you got Devine Daniel Sr. of the Seminoles, who leads with 29 solo tackles. He's by far ahead of everybody else. Yeah. But he still overall leads with 47, although Brandon McGregor of the unit leads with 30 assisted tackles, which leads the league. You got the Wolfpack Solomon Fitchin and Javon Love, and Nathaniel Barnes of the Hitmen rounding it out. So, why don't we give Reese the sacks leaders for the league?
My specialty. Number 1, Will Mass. 7.5 total. He is coming alive. I didn't see him today get any yet, but still a long way to go. Second, we got Omar Young Jordan. I don't think he got one yet, but he was in the backfield a lot to start this game. And we also have Gleaves. Gleaves was in the backfield a lot too this game for the Tri-County Owls. Then we got Corey Burrow. Corey Burrow, I played with him, one of my great teammates. Picked up a lot of touchdown fumbles from me. He ain't get no sacks yet, but we looking to get some more.
And you'll notice, too, that the top 4 are playing in this game.
Yeah.
As we're still working on injury delay, you'll notice Artie Perone of the Delaware Tide leads with 7 total interceptions, and he has 1 pick 6 out of there. Then you got Devine Daniel Sr., Shaheem Bacon, Nick Juliano, Deontay Smith, and Kareem Williams leaned away. Williams with a pick 6 as well. And then we got the kickoff returns. And we got Ronald Butler, one of the veterans. You got the second one.
Is Quabreem Jenkins. I haven't seen him today in this game, but he is dangerous. He is super fast. He is elusive, and he will jump over you.
You know, Butler and Purdy have had kickoff returns for touchdowns in this game.
Purdy had one opening day against the Herd. And I think it was the game winner.
Well, we're hoping that whoever was shaken up on the play is okay. He had to get assisted off the field. So second and a yard from the 10-yard line. And there's a handoff, again, busting through to about the 5 and an easy 1st and goal. And again, Caesar slicing through. and forcing a 1st and goal. Lights starting to come on here at Millersville University as the Owls look to level this thing with just under 10 minutes left in the half. And Reese, what have you seen so far in this? Oh, I'm sorry, they are. It looks like they're going up tempo again. And there's a handoff to Caesar, and Caesar pushing his way. He's not going to get in, but he's going to get to about, I guess, maybe the 3, or they're going to give him the 4. So only a yard. Looked like he got more, but the officials say forward progress was stopped there.
This guy, Caesar, what I've noticed is he can stop on a dime. He was running full speed to the outside and was trapped in the backfield and stopped on a dime and made everybody over pursue.
Well, it ends up only being a 1-yard pickup, so it is 2nd and goal from the 4th. As I said, lights coming on here in Millersville. We're also getting lights on the press box too. There's a thunderstorm cell to the north of Millersville. Hopefully, it doesn't go over the field. Otherwise,
or
it's going to get a little sloppy.
Start raining and making sounds.
Now we got time running out on the play clock. Is that a delay of game?
They call timeout first.
Or did he? Yeah, the Owls called timeout first, and that is big. So why don't we do this? It's 14-8 Hitmen over the Owls. Let's stay here, and let's give you a live look in at another game. The Herd and the Jackals, and you can see, Reese, that the Herd have a 7-0 lead in the second quarter of that game.
I love this. We never had none of this when I was playing. I love this. I love this so much.
Well, even though we may not have any volume here, you'll see, even though it's more field level here, they're broadcasting as best as possible for this little look. This is the first time I've ever seen this, and hey, this is working very good.
I love it.
I feel like I'm a kid again. I'm watching Pat Summerall and John Madden right now for an NFL update. Let's go to Brent Musburger.
Yeah. now I don't have to pull my phone out to check the score.
Jackpot, baby. There you go. All right, now we're back here after the timeout. Each team now with 2 left. It is 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Lester Cream wants to come up with something big here.
They put Daniel Curtis in the backfield at fullback, so I'm pretty sure a 50% chance he's going to lead block.
We'll find out. In between those backs is Davis. Whoop! And all of a sudden, everyone jumps. So we're going to see who this guilty party is.
Encroachment, y'all knocked the center down. He couldn't snap the ball.
If that's so, that it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Half the distance.
The officials discussing here, and you have to understand too. I mean, what if there's a flinch before the center got knocked over?
No, it's possible that could have happened, but I feel like since they this is the 3rd time they knocked the center on the ground. See?
Yep, you are absolutely right. Good eyes for Reese. Of course, I might need my glasses changed up here a little bit, but so it's going to be an encroachment foul, I believe, but we're going to see what the officials say.
Yeah, one of them.
This is a long discussion.
One of them
now they break it up. Oh, it is a flinch.
Oh, they changed
Never
it.
mind.
They changed it.
So Tri-County hit with a false start. That little flinch caused the center to get run over, and now he's not happy with the guy who flinched, causing him to get run over. Twofold. Number one is like, I didn't deserve that. Number 2 is a 5-yard penalty,
right.
And now you got 2nd and goal from the 9 instead of the 2. What a difference that makes.
And I hope it wasn't Terrence Frazier because that guy's big.
And that also changes the play call, too, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, because now you go from 2nd and 4 to 2nd and 9, got to score. As you can see, they took Daniel Curtis out of the backfield and put him at tight end.
All right, they go 3 wide slot left here. As Davis back to pass, rolling right, being chased with lob, and he basically threw it away. Oh, did they throw a flag late? They threw a flag late. And it was in the end zone. That ball was intended for Robert Sims.
Listen, if I got a corner that's about 5'10", and I got Sims, who's about 6'6", I'm taking my chances every time.
And you know height's usually going to win when it comes to these things. But in this particular case, they may have got a huge break.
If I was them, I might have would have argued that the ball was ineligible, like uncatchable. But I'm not a referee. I mean, I'm not a ref, and I'm not going to argue no call that's not for my team.
And it's going to be pass interference
Ball
against
placed to
the
the 1.
Hitmen. And because it happened in the end zone, it's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line as it is starting to lightly rain here in Millersville. Thankfully, our press box is protected.
Keep our equipment, Hitman waster. Well,
Yep,
not waste.
yeah,
but
Hitman's going to use a timeout here.
Yeah.
So how about we take another look at a little sunnier pastures and take a look at another look in here. As the Hitmen hit their second timeout, we go back to the Herd Jackals game, which the Garden State Herd with a 7-0 lead. Yeah, Hitmen called their second timeout.
Last time out. They called their first 2 on the, oh, no, I forgot they got one back.
Yeah, that is because of the clock
Yeah,
situation
they got
on
one
the
back.
opening drive.
Yeah.
No sound here, but you can see the scoreboard in your top left of your screen.
Yeah, Jackals are driving. Look like they're almost near the end zone.
And keep in mind the importance of the play because a Herd win, they win, the Owls lose. The Herd are a 3 seed as we go back to action here live. Herd can rank anywhere from 3 to 6. We'll run down the scenarios again. The only thing that is definite, the winners 2 and the Brooklyn Seminoles already have clinched the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. After the pass interference play, wouldn't be surprised if I go to Caesar again.
I would definitely go to Caesar. He got us all the way up here.
We'll see what happens. And he dives. Did he get in?
Short.
He might be short. Yeah. But
That was Demetrius, though.
yeah, Davis decided to take it himself, but he did not gain anything. So no gain here. And it's 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, I knew he didn't. It looked like he dove short.
Yeah, I think he started his jump a little too early.
Yeah, premature. Premature. A little premature dive. If I'm him, you ain't like you a small quarterback. Why dive? You could have stayed up and tried to get the lineman to push you in.
And maybe do a little misdirection play possibly.
Yeah. But if I'm them, I'd rather I'm giving it to Caesar. He gonna make somebody miss.
2nd and goal from the 1. They go with a direct push, and I don't think Davis got in either.
Nope. So now that it's 3rd down, I'm taking my chances going to number 18 again.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't do it on that play.
I'm a pass. I'm going to try my chances with number 18.
Or you can do one of these play. You could do a play action. You could do naked bootleg. You could do a lot of things here.
The Central Penn Hitmen's interior linemen. They got in Reed Clark, Drew Jones, and Terrence Frazier. That's about 800 pounds of interior linemen. I'm not taking my chances on that.
3rd and goal from the 1. And Caesar's pushing his way, and we'll see on the last lunge.
I said it.
He got it.
I said it.
Welcome to the end zone.
Caesar was my first choice.
Well, it took a couple of plays, but he finally got it on the final push, and he ties the game on a 1-yard score.
I liked the Caesar run better because you didn't run right behind the center where you had the 3 biggest guys on defense.
And he just shifted right,
Yeah.
kept pushing on the final stretch. He got it.
Went a little bit to the right, planted, went north, and then got the push from the lineman. So now we got a tie ball game. This 2-point conversion is big.
Well, it's a tie game no matter what you think of it. Worst case scenario, unless suddenly there's a 2-point conversion going the other way.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Back to pass and looking for a draw and then firing and
he dropped
juggling.
it.
He couldn't hang on to it.
Who was that? That was number 10?
If that's so, that would be Singleton.
Yeah, that
So
was
an
number 10.
incomplete pass, I would have re-given the lead to the Owls, but instead the conversion fails, and we are level at 14 with 6:40 left till halftime. So why don't we take a look at that tremendous run by Micaiah Caesar, his 2nd score of the game, and this was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort all the way. Describe this.
Listen, I called this before they said. I said give it to him. Plant north to south, and then get the lineman to push you. I love it. Look at all them black jerseys around. They still got in.
And it was just barely that final push. And people wonder if you can legally push in the direction to gain yardage. I mean, you see that with Jalen Hurts all the time. I mean, there have been some that said, wait, you can't do that. But we don't see that very often. But now that part of the game seems to have really come back.
If I'm on the Owls, I love it. If I'm on Central Penn, why y'all didn't blow the whistle already? We stopped them.
That's a very fair point there. So we start over with 36 minutes and 40 seconds of football
Very
left,
high kick.
right back where we started, taking it about the 21-yard line, trying to juke around a couple of players and hurdling it to about the 39-yard line, looks
Number
like.
20,
That one.
Javante Hayes, number 20.
Yep, Haynes was the one who got it. And that gives the a short field again for the Hitmen. Even game. I mean, there have been a couple of stars in this one. We've had Dave Legree throw 2 touchdown passes in this game for the Hitmen, and we have had Micaiah Caesar rush for 2 scores for the Owls. So this has been a very entertaining game.
Every time they kick the ball off, each team has got the ball in great field position. Every time. It's either been the 40 or the 45. So another drive for Dave Legree to start off with great field position.
Well, we actually have an official timeout, trying to make sure they have everything together here. And now we can go.
About 6 minutes left. I figure I'll take my time.
Legree with 1st and 10 from his own 39-yard line. It looks like a spread out once again. They're coming after him, but he escapes. He's going to bounce his way, 45 midfield, and down for a first down in plus territory at the 48. Actually 47, so a 14-yard pickup for Legree, and that moves the chains, and Dave's like, you know what, I want the lead back.
Mm-hmm. And they can do that all game. Well, I ain't going to say they can do it all game, but he's been, every time he's run the ball, he's been getting almost a first down minimum. So great production from the quarterback running. He has great production passing. So
I think one of the biggest things to remember, too, is knowing where everyone is going to be at. If you're off by 1 iota, Legree's going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go with 1st and 10 for the 47-yard line. And there's a hand up and a loose ball. Ball's out. Who's got it?
This looked like Central Penn. 34 was James Russo.
Yeah, Russo was the one. James Russo out of Philly was the one who had it. He lost the ball but was able to get it back and somehow gets a 3-yard pickup. By the way, just a progress update. The Herd still lead the Jackals 7-0. Jackals were driving when you got a look in, but failed to score.
Looked like they was on about the 8-yard line, too.
All right, so it is 2nd and 7 now from the 44-yard line. Got Howard watching the other game over there. So anyway, from the 44, back goes Legree. Going to take a shot to the right, and that goes well wide of Christian Europe, incomplete. So that forces a 3rd and 7.
And he was open, too. He just missed the target on that one.
You think the Owls' rush had something to do with it?
A lot of the times when he made, like, throws that just wasn't normal for him, the Owls had a difference. But I don't think they had a difference on that one. It looked like he stood tall in the pocket. He stood there. He planted his feet. He just didn't get the ball where he wanted to. But
hey, it happens sometimes, and it might have been a little bit of a couple of raindrops, too, that might have had something to do with it as well. I mean, thankfully, and it looks like there is a cell to the north of the stadium, but it is a few miles north, and we're like right on the fringe. And now we're going to have timeout called by the Hitmen. They use their last one of the half. So while we do a quick break here with 4:58 left in the half, we're tied at 14. Back after this.
You know what's just as dangerous as a hurricane or a flood? A frosted tart, specifically raspberry, left in the toaster for too long. That was the most insane job I've ever done. Ew. Those things are lethal.
yeah, it was nice.
Okay, we are back after the Hitmen use their last timeout of the half. The Owls have 2, by the way. 3rd and 7 as the ball is at the Owl 44-yard line.
5 minutes left.
And he only tripled the right side this time as Legria is back. He's going to take a shot to the right. It's a short hop. Pass incomplete again towards Europe. It seems like Legria and Europe just have not been on the same page here in the first half.
Yeah, some of his passes have been hitting the turf a little early. Maybe and it's only a yard. Like they just hitting the turf a yard short.
So is it a possibility that maybe it's the route running, or is it the pressure by the Owls defense, or a combination of both?
Combination of both. The Owls are definitely getting in his face. I don't know if they're actually touching him, but they're definitely getting in his face. Now, if I'm Central Penn, the DNs are getting upfield a lot. So if I was them, I would put in Big Marquis Slocum and see if he can slow one of them down.
Well, they have the punting unit on, but the play clock is run out, and they're going to be taking a delay of game penalty.
If you got a good punter, I'm not mad at that. I feel like the Hitmen have a good punter. He was on our Ducks team. He can easily get it 40. Yeah.
You're talking Tariq Green.
Yeah, he can easily get it 40 yards. So taking that, I feel like you can give your team a better chance to catch it before it hops.
Well, and the punt is very short, but there's also a flag down. It takes a
terrible
Owls
penalty.
bounce.
See,
and down to 39-yard line. But let's see what the flag's all about.
I just piped him up, boosted his ego, and jinxed him.
Hey, doesn't this happen all the time? I think we've all done that.
Oh man, now I feel bad.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I mean, even Howard said, I do it every week. I don't know about that, but, sometimes the schedule doesn't allow me to do it every week. But anyway, referees are discussing the penalty. I don't they're going to get the Hitmen for a possible blow to the head.
So is that going to be 15 yards regardless added on?
And that'll be a 15-yard penalty from the down spot. So, illegal player downfield. Okay.
Oh.
So, but it moves at 5 yards, so down to 39. You add a 5-yard penalty, add it on to the end of the play. So the Owls are in great field position. They have 2 timeouts, 4:44 till halftime, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and great field position because they're right back in the 40, where all the drives seem to start at.
It seems like it's only been 60-yard or more, or somewhere around their drives to begin things. So 1st and 10 as Davis is back at the helm. Ball spotted the 44-yard line. They spread like usual. Davis takes it. He's under a rush this time, but he escapes, and he's going to use his feet. Crossing midfield. Oh, what a stiff arm! Down to the 46. Wow, that was a left forearm. Exclamation point by Davis. And Barnes, unfortunately, on the other side for the Hitmen, was the malevolent recipient of that stiff arm. A gain of 9, just short of a first down.
At least he made the tackle. Because if he did not make that tackle, that might have been a viral play inside the den. It might still be viral, but
and possibly
just not as bad because he finished the tackle. Good job, young man.
That might get down to Atlanta too.
Good job, young man.
All right, the handle. Oh, that play's not going to go anywhere.
Omar Jordan. Oh my goodness.
Jordan was able to stuff that play off for a big loss. It's like, okay, I have had enough of this.
He ain't been getting to the quarterback, but he been in the backfield all game.
And forces a 3-yard loss to the 49. So now you have a manageable 3rd and 3 from the 49-yard line. So the question now is, what do you do? I mean, you have time. You got under 3.5.
3 minutes. I just want to get the first. I don't want to go too crazy. No deep passes.
Oh, somebody on the right side moved for the Owls.
Look like the guard.
So the officials will discuss. So it's a 5-yard penalty on a false start. Now you got 3rd and 3, now 3rd and 8. So this is a key penalty here in this first half.
Yeah, it is. 3rd and 3 on the other side, you still want to go for it.
And the one thing I think that Davis may not have realized, that stiff arm might have awakened the Hitmen defense because they pushed right back.
And he moved him into the box. Well, I don't know if he was already in the box, but he's almost like the safety in the box, almost the rover type.
Third and 8. Ball spot. Owls' own 46-yard line. Here is Davis. Got to take a shot to the right, and a pass nearly intercepted. Was knocked away. Incomplete.
And we got a flag coming in late.
Oh, really? Haynes was the one who knocked it away from the intended receiver.
It was
Weidman.
It looked like he mugged him after the ball went out in the air. So it's probably going to be an unsportsmanlike.
Well, we'll see what we get here from the officials. They've had a pretty busy second quarter calling fouls.
I feel like that was a titty-tap penalty.
Well, it's possible. I mean, you don't know what officiating crews are going to do.
Listen, if I'm on the Hitmen, I hate it. But if I'm on the Owls, I love it.
Well,
but as a fan just watching the game while it's this close, I don't like it.
Well, guess what? It is a personal foul on the Hitman. That's an automatic first down for the Owls.
I don't like it. But I do like the way the Hitman went over there and said, bro, you made a mistake, make up for it. Nobody tried to put him down.
And that's why your teammates, and that's why the Hitmen, those who have had Central Penn teams all over the years, team support. And things sometimes go wrong as long as you have each other's back, regardless of what happens during the journey. So a huge break for the Owls. Are now at the Hitmen 39 on 1st and 10 following that personal foul. They're going to lob this one. The pass, there's a spin move and trying to get out of it and cannot. Ends up losing a yard on the play.
Nadir Smith, 0 catch. Well, he got a catch for 0 yards.
That was a catch for -1.
I feel like, -1, I'm sorry. I feel like Demetrius floated that ball. If you give him the ball faster, maybe he can make the guy miss. As soon as he got the ball, the guy was right there. Play took a little longer than I would like to develop. Oh, -2 yards.
Yeah, I don't think they got a really good spot, but it's a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, I felt like he dove forward at the end. But
so Davis, 39 yards passing, but he's done most of his damage with his legs so far. 2nd and 12 from the 41-yard line. They're going to try a short one, and this will get some yardage, 35, 33-yard lines. That'll be a pickup of 8, it looks like.
Is that
right at the 2-minute warning?
Cobreen Jenkins?
Yep, Cobreen Jenkins was able to bring that down. So we're at the 2-minute warning now. So when we resume play, it is 3rd and 4 from the 33. We'll let you know once again this game, and we're going to keep it here, I guess, presented by Patillo Companies. Heavy construction with a plan, and they have tight management controls on all their projects. They believe in a checks and balances management style in which all employees take full responsibility for their area or areas of expertise. Their foremen, laborers, carpenters, and operators are all highly skilled union employees, and their specialists are also led by some of the most qualified superintendents and project managers in the industry. For more information on Patillo Companies, call 973-347-6166. Again, 973-347-6166. So following the 2-minute timeout, it is a key 3rd and 4 play for the Owls. Ball spotted at the 33 of the Hitmen.
First 2-minute drill.
And this is a biggie. Davis looks everything over. He's in the shotgun. He'll take it. They're coming. Here's a firing pass to nobody.
Wasn't even looking.
I mean, there were 2 Hitmen coming right after him, and literally Davis had to throw the ball up the middle, and thankfully there were no Hitmen around to scoop it up.
Nobody blocked Corey Burrell, number 90. And number 16, Cobreen Jenkins, was not ready for the ball. He was not looking yet. He did a little complaining to the refs, so I'm thinking maybe they was grabbing him at the time, but.
Well, it's possible. I mean, remember, sometimes the game is called tightly, and other times they let the teams play. And especially in a critical game like this, you know you're going to have some plays as we're going to have a timeout.
Good timeout.
Oh, the Owls call a timeout.
Yeah, it's 4th down. It's 4th down. You want to get some extra time to talk it over. You can't take them with you. So
why don't we take a quick break with 1:57 left in the half, tied at 14. We'll be right back.
Can we shut off the
Okay, we're right back here. Owls going for it on 4th and 4 after their timeout. They have one remaining. Big play here in this game so far. Taking the snap. They didn't throw a flag down. Here is the throw, and it's incomplete. It seemed like a lot of people were not sure as to what was happening. We've seen this a couple of times in this game, but Davis ends up throwing an incompletion, and as it turns out, the Owls turn the ball over on downs. Very unfortunate.
They didn't call anything?
They did not call anything. This is the
I
second
thought it was a
time.
flag up there.
Well, I don't. Or the officials. Wait, you might be right. You might be right.
But
So hang tight,
Davis
everyone.
was definitely moving before the ball came.
You are absolutely right. It's offside on the Hitmen, and that saves the Owls and gives them a free first down.
Hitmen, penalties. Penalties are costing the Hitmen right now.
Big time.
All these extra plays, and these seem like these are the extra plays that's turning into first downs and touchdowns.
You remember, I mean, in the old Piranha days, this has happened to them a lot where they had penalties, and all of a sudden, magically, they come out of nowhere and they score 30 points in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we've seen the story before many a time. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff and they lateral it back to Davis, who alertly grabs it and takes it to the 27-yard line.
I do not like that neither. Oh my goodness!
So
as
what
a
does
coach,
that? It's a 2-yard pickup, and I'm like, who gets credit?
As a coach, that's a heart attack.
So Davis gets the lateral from Caesar, and boy, he had to know where Davis was in order to do that. That was a bizarre play.
I do not like it. That's the type of stuff that turns into 6 the other way.
You are not kidding.
I do not like
Boy,
it.
were the Owls lucky there. 2nd and 8 from the 27-yard line. Clock running to a man left till halftime. As they are, here's Davis going to take a shot. He ends it. He's got a guy, but it just misses incomplete.
They need to be speeding this up. They ran 2 plays in a minute off the clock. They need to be speeding this up.
Well, they have one timeout, and they went for, it looked like Cabrine Jenkins, who's been in a lot on this series, and they just missed as Davis threw it just a little bit early for him. Just
he had him.
Like a tenth of a second later, and you possibly get a score out of it.
The guy had a yard on the defender. Put it where only his guy can get it.
That was pretty close, but just a little bit off. 3rd and 8 now from the 27 of the Hitmen. The Owls, remember, they have one timeout.
I still ain't seen my jump ball to number 18.
Well, they better hurry. Oh, and they're going to use their last timeout here because the play clock was running to 2, and they're going to have to call their last timeout right here. So we're going to keep it here. By the way, halftime score, the Herd lead the Jackals 7-0 at the break. So we'll keep you updated on that game. Let's just remind everybody of what is. Yeah, why don't we do this? This game, by the way, presented by Tape Me Up with trainer Steve, who reminds you that if you suffer from chronic joint pain or instability during training or competitive activity, Tape Me Up may be a remedy. With 10 years' experience in the athletic training profession, they're fully capable and prepared to tackle many of your athletic taping needs. Check out Tape Me Up with trainer Steve and visit his website at tapemeup.net.
I like Tape Me Up. Tape Me Up shows up on time, on table, on tape, cuts it off, does everything. Has a little banner. Very professional.
Hopefully they don't wrap me up like a mummy and all this. Anyway, it'll be we're waiting on 3rd and 8 from the 27th, the Owls' last time out. Just keep in mind, the winner of this game gets number 2 seed. The only thing definite is that the Brooklyn Seminoles have clinched the number 1 seed. The winner of this game is number 2. The loser's number 3, but if the Owls get a Herd loss today, they end up being the 3 seed as well, even if they lose. So we'll see what happens further with this. 3rd and 8 from the 27-yard line. Davis awaits a shotgun. Basically the same spread we've seen from both teams. What is somebody? Oh, just got back. Davis gonna take a shot. Too high, incomplete.
And another penalty.
And a flag. Another flag down. And the intended receiver must have been Weidman. Number 18 down. And you see the flag down about the 3.
It was number 1, Watman, but number 18 was in the vicinity.
Robert
too.
Sims, yes.
Yeah, but Hitmen, they are bailing the Owls out with these penalties. I don't know.
A pass interference penalty against the Hitmen
On a 2-yard line.
We'll see where they spot it, where the interference was, and believe it or not, they have one of the guys lined up at the 1. And now they're moving it. And here we go again. Seems like we've seen this story before too. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Meach or Hawkins. I mean, McCaw.
Yeah, you gotta go. I would go with Caesar.
Yeah. Meach.
Play fake. It's Davis who takes it in. Welcome to the end zone. Dimitri Davis decides I will do it myself. And the Owls retake the lead with the extra point coming with 54 seconds left. I mean, that was a pretty simple run by Davis, wouldn't you think?
Well, they probably focused on McCaw since he had all the touchdowns already. And they clogged Meach last 2 times. Or they maybe just didn't get – maybe they didn't get the right personnel in.
All right, so we're going to wait for the conversion here. It's going to be the 2-point one. And the Owls, they're 1 for 2. And Davis had a straight run for a 2-point conversion. So basically 8 points for him today.
I feel like the Hitmen didn't get the beef in.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't get their big lineman in like they did last time to stop the middle runs.
All right, well, they give it to Caesar, and he has dropped. So the conversion fails, and we'll go to a break here with 54 seconds left in the half. It's the Owls 20, the Hitmen 14. We'll be back in a moment.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Oh my God.
Back here in Millersville, the Owls just retook the lead 20-14 over the Central Penn Hitmen, but there's 54 seconds left. Keep in mind, the Hitmen do not have any timeouts, but is that enough time for them to get points? We're going to find out as a kickoff taken
by number 20.
At the 16-yard line as a whole, crossing the 30, and it goes to about the 39-yard line, as that would be Javante Haynes who was able to bring it over. And now Central Penn in a pretty good position here. Now they got to play sideline ball. And that's the one thing I kind of wanted to bring up before the break. The Owls kind of made a little bit of a mistake as far as time management goes. They scored right away. But now you leave some time on the clock for the Hitmen to get some points before the half. The only good thing is about this for the Owls, they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, but if I'm the Hitmen, Legree is very, very dangerous at throwing the ball to the boundary. So with him throwing the ball to the boundary, they can get out of bounds and possibly at least try to make it to get 3 points because they don't have any timeouts.
Well, they're going heavy right with an empty gun here. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They'll take it. They'll throw right, pass caught, and they're going to keep him in bounds. That's a very good job by Cameron Clements, who was able to bring him down about the 49-yard line. That was a 5-yard pickup there.
Yeah, by number 36, Tyreek Smith.
Tyreek Smith there, clock running, 26, 25, 24, empty gun heavy left this time. They're going to have to go sideline. Taking the snap, looking. Oh, it's hit hard, and he somehow bounced away. He's going to try and throw it. And the pass incomplete. That might be the saving grace right there.
Number 25, Gleaves, had him on the sack and just Legree is just too big. Pause.
Wow. But that's one, and like I said, Legree, I tell you, he pulls magic out of his hat every single time, and boy, he avoided a huge sack there.
Looked like he was dead to rights, and now they stopped the clock. Well, it's 12 seconds left, so now you got to go. You got to go for a little home run at least,
or sideline.
If I'm Kerr, I want at least to get to the 30 to give my kicker a great chance.
Well, we'll see. Again, they go empty gun. Heavy on the left, I think on the right this time. Taking the snap, Legree looking. He'll throw to the sideline, and it's incomplete with 8 seconds left in the half.
I felt like they called a lot of inside routes. Y'all don't have no timeouts left. Why are y'all? Everybody on this side of the field ran like posts.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what they were trying to do as well. I mean, the idea was to go sideline to sideline. The first was a little short, and the Owls were very good at containing that play. But now you got 4th and 5. I mean, and now flag is down. And could be another sideline warning against Central Penn.
They talking to the corner, talking to Deron Maxwell, trying to get him out of his game.
Oh, goodness. Trying to think. Well, they called on – there's an early indication possibly unsportsmanlike conduct, but the officials are trying to figure everything out. Still 8 seconds till halftime.
All right,
and it's against – it's on both teams.
Offset. Why is not offsetting penalty then?
So unsportsmanlike on both sides. Now everyone's moving.
Should be an offsetting penalty.
Well, I don't know why everyone's moving forward, thinking it's just on the Owls. So it's. I mean, the play didn't even happen yet. So from the midfield stripe, we will try this one more time, and I wouldn't be surprised if Hail Mary is on the menu for the end of the half.
This is a play that. It doesn't work that often, but people still love to try it. I guess you just want to give your guys a chance.
That's all you can do. Try and design whatever you can on the fly. And Legree has the arm to do it. Let's see if he can do it with this wind. He's back to pass. Escapes one, and he's going to run it himself. He's going to run to the sideline, and he's not going to make it out in time. He gets out on the final play of the half. He runs to about the 38-yard line for a gain of 12, but the time elapsed. Oh, wait. Or we think the time elapsed, but the officials are going to discuss. And we're on hold for 1 second. I don't think we have tenths of seconds here, so. So we're waiting on the official decision.
They waived it. No, they waived it off, I thought.
I don't know if they waved it off or not.
Oh,
wow.
One more.
All right, so I guess there is 1 second left in the half. So, surprise, surprise. So now Legree has another chance. And you can definitely count on an end zone throw here.
Would you attempt a field goal for this if it was you?
If you have a leg of 57 yards, maybe, but a swirling wind, I wouldn't do it. But here we go on the final play of the half. Unless there's a defensive penalty, here's Legree. He's in trouble. He is trying to get out, and finally the whistle blows, and the half is over, and it counts as a sack.
25 Gleaves. First one there.
Oh, Gleaves, one of the leaders, with a huge sack. And what a way to end the first half. Your thoughts on this, Reese?
This is a great game, great football. I'm loving it. They did all this talking all week, and both teams are coming to show why they did all this talking.
And remember, the Owls get the ball to start the second half. So we're at halftime here in Millersville with the Owls leading the Hitmen by a score of 20-14. What we're going to do, we're going to show some sponsors here on this broadcast, but we're also going to continue our look in between the Herd and the Jackals. At last check, the Herd were up 7-0. I believe they're in the third quarter of that game. So we'll do that as well. So stay tuned. It's now 14-0 now as the Herd just scored. So, excuse me. But just keep in mind we got a lot. So the Owls by 6 at the break. Let's go take care of this stuff, and we'll be back shortly.
2011-2014. In 2021, the Cumberland Valley Hitmen recognized and reorganized after a shortened season and entered the 8-man outdoor Great Eastern Football Association. The Hitmen finished the year perfect with a record of 11-0, upsetting the 7-time league champions Lancaster County Cyclones.
You didn't want any?
No, I'll eat at the
During the
Thank you.
summer of 2022,
12 to 7.
Michael
Why you look like that?
agreed to
Yeah,
take
I
over
like my
ownership
figure.
from the founders,
He didn't charge you for it, right?
Vogelsanger and Ricky Frank.
I ain't gonna lie, they had walking tacos. I wanted them.
I should say Mr. Keeper, along with Coach Kerr, decided to bring back the Central Penn nickname. Today, we are bringing both programs and families together to celebrate the history. And the tradition never ended. It just evolved.
All right, we welcome you back to Christ Field here at Bemis Durfer Stadium here at Millersville University in Pennsylvania, right outside of Lancaster, getting ready to start the second half of this Den contest final regular season game. The Tri-County Owls with a 20-14 lead over the Central Penn Hitmen, and the Hitmen kicking off to begin this second half of play. Be taking about the 19-yard line, going about the 30 and trying to get a little further, and will to about the 34, maybe 35-yard line. So I'm Tom Wilkins along with Reese Goodwin, Howard Gable with the controls as usual. Now, why don't we go ahead and talk quickly about adjustments for both teams. Let's begin with the Hitmen and then the Owls. What do you see on both?
For the Hitmen, penalties. Penalties, they prolong drives, they stall drives, and they cost the Hitmen maybe 2 to 3 touchdowns that all the Owls scored. And it stopped them from getting a touchdown.
Well,
Owls adjustment, I would probably say contain Dave a little better. He's almost probably thrown 100 yards already. The second half, I'm pretty sure he's going to play better. He's going to get them the short passes that get to the receivers and hit the target.
Here on the first play of the second half, one of the key players for the Owls, Micaiah Caesar, was able to sweep around the right side and gain possibly 4 to the 39-yard line. And he has been a huge help for this Owls team. He has 2 of the 3 rushing touchdowns.
He's been running hard. He starts off looking like he wants to get east and west, and he puts his foot in the dirt when he makes his mind up and goes all north. I love it.
Well, he gains 4 on the play, so you're looking at a 2nd and 6 in the 39-yard line. Another thing to keep in mind, one of the games we're looking in, the Herd lead to Jackals 14-0. I believe that's in the third quarter. We will continue to monitor the progress of that game. So, well, we have a flag down, and it looks like the play clock went out, so a delay of game. Want to send our special shouts to KSN Media, who has supplied the video for that game between the Jackals and the Herd. Once again, 14-0 Herd lead in the third quarter of that game. We will continue to update you when applicable.
Very, very crazy game. Because now if you get to the if you end up being a 6 seed, that means you will play the Owls first round.
Here's a throw deep on the side, a little bit too high and incomplete. They went for the home run ball for Darnell Weidman, who's a bit a factor here. But as far as Dimitri Davis is concerned, you look at his stats, 6 of 11 for 47 yards. I mean, he hasn't thrown too many passes, but at the same time, you have to give credit to the Hitmen defense, who have caused him to be off on his game a little bit.
If I am Dimitri, I am going to look at this game right now and say, if I want to stay in the MVP candidates, I need to step it up. 40 yards in a big game like this is not going to get it done.
Especially with a 20-14 game the way it is. As a light rain is falling here in Millersville, 3rd and 11. Ball spotted at 34, and another bad snap. And again, Davis has to slide down and make the recovery. And that forces a 4th down, and it'll be punting time. So what a tough break, all the way back to the 22-yard line, and the Blues in 12 on the play.
Omar Clark Jordan. Jordan Clark. Omar is a young Jordan.
Defensive Jordan.
Sack. Give me that sack. I want my sack. I don't care if it was a bad snap. I want my sack for my den total sack season.
Right.
I have a chance. Yeah, I have a chance to be the number 1 sack leader at the end of this game. I want my sack.
Well, it's not a sack. It's a fumble recovery by Davis. But it will still count as a tackle for loss. And now a high snap that goes into the end zone. They got to punt it, and it's a low knuckle.
Wow.
And it's going to roll all the way down to about the 33-yard line. What a bizarre play there, which could have easily been a safety, but somehow the punter was able to punt a low ground ball that took a couple crazy hops, and it's down to the 33, but that is a gift-wrap field position for the Hitmen as they will start their 1st and 10. Holy mackerel.
That punt could have possibly saved them the game.
Let's watch a replay. And Reese, tell me again, bad snaps have been the order sometimes on the Owls. What happened here?
Bad snap way over his head. And it's crazy because when the Owls, every time the Owls had a bad snap, they always had them back to back.
Yeah, Jordan came close to getting that one.
Man. And it was a penalty?
No, there was no penalty.
Oh.
The ball was just down at the 33-yard line, so the Owls got bailed out. Even though it only counts as an 11-yard punt, that is the most interesting 11-yard punt you're going to see.
And the rain is starting to come down just a little bit more.
Now you can see it on the screen, especially up top where the light pole is. Here's a handoff slipping through one side, and Lamoureux is only going to get to about the 30, maybe about 3 yards on the play. As you notice, David Legree, he's been pressured a bit by this Owls defense. 5 of 13 for 98 yards, but keep in mind, 54 of them was a touchdown pass, and that's where Legree got most of his yards here. So if you take that away, that's 4 of 12 for like 56 yards.
And he was about 4 for 6 for 93. So the Owls have started to step it up and make it just a little bit more harder for them. And if they continue to do that, plus the rain is going to be even more difficult.
2nd and 7. They're going to go run option here. And the handoff, I believe it's now Lamoureux again for another 2. So this puts the Hitmen at 3rd and 5. Now, with the rain coming down, it'll be interesting to see if Legree tries to pass or put himself on his back yet again.
I think I would go for maybe little quick outs, little curls, something quick and fast just to get the first down, reset the sticks.
Well, they're going to have to do it, especially this inclement weather. We had a big cell go to the north of us, but unfortunately part of the southern end has developed into a shower. 3rd and 5 from the 28-yard line. But at least here we're drying the press box. Here's Legree back to pass. Going to take a shot. He's going to try running. He fires last seconds. Pass caught. Inside the 10, the 5, the dive. He's in the pool. Welcome to the end zone. Evan Morrill with his 2nd touchdown reception of the day. He comes through with a 29-yard touchdown reception. And the Hitmen have tied it up pending the extra point.
Evan has been balling today. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, about 90 yards. If I'm Evan, every drive, feed me.
Fed and then some. I mean, the 2 touchdowns he's had been 54 and 29 yards respectively. So that, and you look at Legree, I mean, he's under 50% in passing. But 3 of his 6 passes have been for touchdowns. And you got to understand, he's got a 17, he's got a 54, he's got a 29. That's 100 of his 127 yards have been touchdown receptions. And now it looks like the Hitmen are, they're going for 2. I guess with this slippery ball and stuff.
I don't like it.
Interesting call.
Give me the 1 point, the guarantee.
Well, here's Legree. He's going to try it himself, and he will make it. 2-point conversion successful.
Might have called that guarantee then.
Well, I guess Legree said, give that to me, and I'll handle it. And now the Central Penn Hitmen have retaken the lead, 22-20, and unfortunately, the bad luck on the Owls' opening drive of the second half come back to haunt as the Hitmen have retaken the lead. But why don't we take a look at that game-tying touchdown catch by Evan Morrill, his 2nd of the game. Boy, has he been something else, Reese. Tell me what you see here.
Dave extended the play. Just extended the play. Evan came back, sat down, and when he sat down and Dave started moving, he moved with him, and then they just missed it.
I think it was more
right next to
pinpoint
him.
passing.
Yeah, he was right next to him. They threw it right between 2 defenders, threaded the needle with that rocket arm, and got the job done.
And the pinpoint accuracy despite this inclement weather, that is what is so impressive about it. So the Hitmen regained the lead. Now it's up to the Owls to respond as even though it's a small cell, the rain is coming down pretty good here in Millersville.
It's a lot of umbrellas out.
We're just in a small cell area like 5 miles away. It's not even raining. Meanwhile, for the Owls, they are trying to get themselves good field position, but they're only going to get to about the 35, maybe the 36-yard line.
Nadir Smith.
Nadir Smith tried to make something out of nothing. Well, he got something, but he couldn't get any more. So now the Owls, down 2, will look to Dimitri Davis to try and lead them back in front again.
Got to get some points out of this.
Well, keep in mind, it's still early in the third quarter. Rain is coming down pretty good right now. And by the way, just to update you on the other game you've seen, they've just started the fourth quarter, and the Herd lead the Jackals 14-0. Again, every game pretty much of significance here is the final game of the regular season here in the Den. And back in our neck of the woods, it's not raining, but it's coming down pretty good here.
Yeah.
And this is going to affect the rest of the game, especially with turf conditions.
Yeah, and then the longer the day goes, the worse it gets.
All right, well, here's a handoff, first down. Looks like that was Caesar that time. And he's able to get to the 39-yard line for a couple yards. And Corey Burrow with a stop there. So second, and it looks to be 7 after a 3-yard pickup.
Owls have seemed like they turned it down a little conservative after them bad snaps. So let's see.
Well, that's one thing they're going to have
snaps.
to really have to fix now in spite of this inclement weather.
Yeah,
it happened even before it rained, and that's an even bigger issue right there. 2nd and 7 from the 39. Davis, the right side moved, and that's going to be a false start. And right now the Hitmen are like, get the fans involved here. They are hype here because now they have the momentum. So a false start makes it 2nd and 12, but another mental mistake, and especially this time of the year in this league, you can't afford to do that.
They putting themselves in bad position. You had a penalty after the turnover. You really can't. But they just got to keep.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say the lights are pointed more down toward the field. Here on second down, a handoff. They're going to get the yardage back and maybe one. Caesar again. This is a 6-yard pickup that time. But it does force a 3rd and 6 coming up. Nathaniel Barnes with a stop.
Yeah, this rain is starting to come down. It's going to affect the game. Yeah, it's definitely hot.
Well, you're not kidding with the way things have been going so far.
But
we started 74 degrees at a kickoff. We're down to 66. It is only supposed to be a stray shower, and the rain should be ending soon. But one never knows with Mother Nature.
Owls put themselves back in good position after the penalty. About 3rd and 5. See what they can get this first down.
Here's Davis in the shotgun. Going to call his own number, and he dives. Did he get it?
Yes.
His knee was down.
Looks like they're giving it to him.
They gave it to him. They gave him the first down at the 46-yard line. Davis said, I will handle it, and just barely was able to stretch as his knee went down. That's a big play.
Such a great play to keep the drive going, get some little momentum going. Now that you get a first down, hopefully you can keep the train rolling.
Well, it was good enough for a gain of 6. So 1st and 10. As Davis has his troops at his own 47-yard line, making sure everybody's in position. Showing blitz with the Hitmen. But again, this is a keeper for Davis. He's going to get some yardage. Cuts back. Missed tackle. Look out. Another missed tackle. And then finally slips down about the 44, maybe the 43, depending on the spot. So another 9 yards at least for Davis.
That was a great vision awareness. Because the defensive end, I think it was Corey Burrell, got upfield and sealed them off. And he just put his feet in the dirt, went north, and then cut back across the field.
I have to give Davis a lot of credit, too, because, on this wet turf, he's able to make all those cuts.
Yeah.
That's quite amazing right there. But you have to understand, we're here at a Division II school, so you're dealing with a kind of like a professional turf.
This turf looked comfortable.
2nd and a yard from the 44-yard line. They go tight left, and It's going to be a pass and good for a first down. A hurdle crossing the 30, the 20, the 10, and out of bounds inside the 10.
Nadir Smith.
The ghosts of Larry Centers have returned.
Do not do that to him like that. Why would you do that?
And for those of you who don't remember Larry Centers of the Arizona Cardinals, I mean, that was
About 30.
they're going to say about the 10, so that's going to be
About 30 yards?
Yeah, 34 yards. Wow. Yeah, he had that famous hurdle over the Cowboys at the end of the 95 season on Monday Night Football, Christmas night.
I didn't see who he hurt it over, but I seen somebody got hurt.
Yeah, we'll get a replay in here shortly. But here on 1st and goal, here is a handoff that, it's a keeper actually. It was a fake handoff, but it's not going to be for anything.
Yeah, no yards on the play.
Yeah, so no gain there. So it's second and goal from the 10-yard line. So, and here's a wide shot of the rain coming down here. Not as heavy as it was a couple minutes ago. Things have tapered off a little. But rain, more like a light rain / mist coming down.
Where the wind is, if you had our view, it would just look so peaceful and refreshing. You could just see it just glaring off the light flowing.
Nothing peaceful and refreshing about this football game.
No.
Second and goal from the 10. As Davis in the shotgun again, lining up tight on both sides here. He's back to pass. Gotta take a shot. And the pass is going to be caught.
Intercept.
It should be caught. No, it's taken away. Intercepted. How did that happen? I thought it was going to be caught for a score, but instead it was taken away by the Hitman at the last second.
Number 20.
And the man who did that was Javonte Haynes. Wow.
Demetrius needed to get that pass just a little bit further up to give his wide receiver a better chance.
Oh, my goodness. And I'm telling you, whoever was the intended receiver on the far side looked like he had it as both players were coming down. Let's take a look at the replay, and we'll see how Haynes was able to steal that ball away.
18.
And it's probably who they were looking for, Sims. But
And he just didn't.
I think it was underthrown.
Yeah, he didn't give his wide receiver a good enough opportunity.
It wasn't thrown on top, and that was exactly why the interception happened. But, boy, that's a tough break. That was a 50-50 ball, but unfortunately it did not go the way of the Owls. And a great drive ends up going for a touchback, and the Hitmen have it now 1st and 10 with a 2-point lead in the ball and just over 6 minutes left here in the third. Legree, he may want to try an up one. He's got a shovel pass with a spin move, another spin move, and Lamoureux, he's going to be, I don't know how he's going to sleep at night. He's going to be so dizzy after those double spins and a gain of 20 on that play and a first down.
Put him in the spin cycle.
Oh, my goodness. I thought he was in an amusement park for a moment.
Was that 2 spins?
He caught, spun, and then spun again. I don't know how he did that. But then again, with some of these football players today, who knows how these people do these things anyway.
I don't think I've ever used the spin move in my arsenal. Maybe not too much. I don't like to spin because if me personally as a D lineman, if I spin, that means you can normally get hands on me. I don't like it.
All right, on first down, there's a handoff that's going to go to about the 43-yard line.
That's Marquise.
They went, and they went with Edwards. I'm sorry. So Edwards gains 3. They decided to change it up a little bit and forces a 2nd and 7. So now the Owls kind of like a little bit on their heels because it's clear the Hitmen have the momentum at this point.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they was driving up the field too. And then with a 6'6" receiver, you don't throw the ball flat. Give him, you throw it up. You either throw it out of bounds over their heads or you throw it just to where he can get it.
This is a major play in this game. Here's a handoff, and this is, it looks like Lamoureux again. No, it's not.
Marquise again.
Oh, it's Marquise. And Marquise ends up, the yellow shoes man, Marquise Edwards, able to get to the 46 and a first down, a gain of 11. And now I think the soft spot is being exposed on the Owls' front line.
Yeah, either the Owls have just had the air taken out of him from that interception driving down the field, or the Hitmen have just found their number right now. Run up the middle.
It's also a case of mental toughness and mental awareness. How do you recover from it?
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 to 46 of the Owls. They go with the handoff. Oh, this time the Owls were waiting. It's going to be a loss.
Will Mass, right off the edge from the opposite side.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be no gain on the play, maybe a foot, but that's about it. It's been so outside of that shovel pass to Limero, it's been nothing but runs since.
Yeah. And the way Dave was about to run probably itself, you can almost call that a run pass.
But the Owls were definitely ready for that.
Yeah.
Now it is 2nd and, we'll just say a little shorter 10.
Rain slowed down.
Yeah, it looks like the rain is starting to dissipate
stop.
a little bit.
Yeah, you can't even see it on the screen no more.
Well, they better be careful because they reset the play clock.
Wow, y'all never reset it for the Owls.
2nd and 10 for the 46-yard line. Here's Legree back to pass, and let's see what he does. He may take the shot. I think he undershot it, but the pass is still caught. But a flag is down about the 30-yard line. Pass is caught. Once again, Evan Morrill. I mean, if the
offensive pass interference, I think, on the Hitmen.
We'll see, because the penalty is at the 30-yard line. The Owls are saying it is on the Hitmen, but the officials will have the final say to that. So, and 2nd and 10 to 46. So we'll see what this is. The officials discuss. I mean, there's also the possibility of a hold or a block in the back. The penalty is going to be against the Hitmen. We're just not sure exactly what the penalty is going to be.
And I think the ref said it was on 36.
It is a block. It is a block in the back against the Hitmen. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to back up 10 yards from, I guess the end of the play.
Yeah, spot of the foul.
All right, so 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so they get to repeat the down and get a free 4 yards out of it.
What I think happened was they was about to run a wide receiver screen. I think they was going to run a wide receiver screen. And then the Owls probably played it well, and then he ended up scrambling and throwing it over the top, but I'm not 100% sure. I was too busy looking at Legree.
All right, so it is 2nd and 6 now. They will give the handoff, and no, Legree kept it, and he gets flattened down for maybe a yard down to about the 41-yard line. So now forces a 3rd and 5, and that might be the infusion the Owls needed, that penalty against the Hitmen.
Yeah. Now they just need they're probably in 2-down territory, so they probably just need 2 more stops, and then they can get the ball back and try and score.
And actually, they didn't give him anything, so it'll be 3rd and 6. So the ball is at the Owls' 42-yard line. So if you're looking for critical plays, this could that block in the black could very well be a significant one, more significant than anticipated, depending on what happens here.
It went from probably a 25-yard gain to a 4-yard gain.
And now we have a timeout called by the Hitmen. So why don't we quickly check on the Herd and Jackals while we have a second here. It's still 14-0.
Fourth quarter.
The Herd lead in the final quarter there. And it looks like the Herd do have the football. We're not, based upon that camera angle, we cannot see the scoreboard, so we don't know how much time is left in regulation. But, of course, the officials keep time there on the field. So, anyway, we'll keep you up to date here. Meanwhile, back in Millersville, Hitmen with a 22-20 lead over the Tri-County Owls and a minute 26 left here in the third. The Hitmen were the ones who took that time out, so they're down to 2 left here in the second half. Once again, here's what's at stake. Whoever wins this game is the number 2 seed. So that is a huge thing about this. Brooklyn already is 1. We're going to find out who's number 2 probably in about an hour or less.
I hope not an hour.
Well, we're not talking playing time. We're talking about real time here.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's 30 minutes. They got until 9:40. After 9, they didn't already had a first half of an hour and a half. Normally games. I'm gonna just say normally my games 2 hours and 30 minutes to 2:40.
Well, Phil Harding
Oh, my
is not the
goodness.
referee of this game. I can
Oh
promise
my
you that.
goodness! You have an hour and 30-minute game.
All right, 3rd and 6 on the 42-yard line. They triple the right. Pulling back from the blitz. Here's Legree. Looking.
that
Now he's going to
time.
fire right with a lot of time.
Pick.
Pass. Oh, my gosh. A collision. Something broke with the collision. Pass is incomplete.
Oh, look! It looked like the top of Sosa helmet came off. Deron Maxwell.
Looked like a couple pieces came off.
Deron Maxwell top part of his F7 came out.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's another piece of plastic under there, but it's just like an extra piece because the piece under the F7 has like a resistance cushion to help prevent the concussions, and then it's just like a hard plastic piece that's like a bumper.
I'm guessing they're not using that helmet anymore, but I'm thankful that everybody is okay here. But that was a vicious hit. Now, I'm assuming there is no penalty for that particular uniform malfunction?
No. Well, technically the pass looked like it was tipped, and then they just ran into each other, both going for the ball. It didn't look like he really tried to, like, tackle him after the tip.
Wow, a little bit of a – and hold our breath here for a second.
He got up and walked off the field.
Well, believe it or not, they are going for it.
Two-down
Legree
territory.
trying to make sure he's got the right personnel. Finally, a last-second substitution.
That's because the line –
Yeah, Frazier just ran on.
I think one of the linemen helped the guy off the field.
All right, so they'll triple the right. 4th and 6 on the 42-yard line. Legree in the shotgun. He takes. Let's see what he does. Looking. He'll lob it. And did he catch it? I believe he did. Yes, it is a catch. And guess who? Evan Morrill does it again. 4th down conversion, and that moves the chains for the Hitmen.
Probably was about 15 to 16.
Well, they got the ball at the 28, so that's a 14-yard pickup. I'll tell you, Morrill has been enormous, and if the Hitmen win this game, he's probably most valuable player.
All clutch plays.
So,
Legree has been playing very well too, though. And Morrell doesn't get the ball unless Legree gets it to him. So
that is very true. But hey, wide receivers have been stars of game too.
Yeah, he got 100 yards receiving, probably 3 catches.
Well, we have a handoff as a flag goes down right at the beginning of the play. So let's see whether that's the case, and if either a false start, an illegal motion, or something. We'll see.
False start, they normally blow it dead. They didn't blow it. Maybe they blew it dead and they ain't just hear it.
Well, or they forgot to blow the whistle. Well, penalty is on the Hitmen, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And I think they're just going to say they just blew the play dead. So 19 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if they're able to get one more play off. And I'm assuming all right, so they'll probably let the clock wind down to 3-quarter time, but so because the play clock and the game clock are about 4 seconds apart. But they're still going to line up, but they're just going to be casual about it. So we have hit 3-quarter time here at Millersville University, and it has been a good one. The Central Penn Hitmen 22, the Tri-County Owls 20. While we grab a break, we'll come back to the final quarter of this one right after this.
Is your roof older than 15 years? Do you have missing shingles, leaks, or stains on ceilings? You know it's time to replace your worn out or damaged roof, but who wants to deal with high-pressure salespeople or play phone tag? Get a new roof, starting at $59.95. Get personalized roofing estimate in just 60 seconds. Get a new roof right now and save. As a bonus, with each installation, you receive lifetime manufacturer's warranty, 10-year workmanship warranty, our guarantee that your job will be done in 1 day with site cleanup, and a $300 gift certificate for booking your free inspection online.
Okay, we are back here at Millersville University. Final quarter of what is probably going to be an instant classic. It's 1st and 15 for the Central Penn Hitmen as we resume. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line. There's Legree's in the shotgun. See what they decide to do here.
He keeps it.
Keeps himself. Just could not get by the rash of Owls that were basically, they were planning that play all along. So no gain on the play. So that makes it 2nd and 15. I'm Tom Wilkins along with Reese Goodwin. Howard Gaber, of course, taking care of the controls here at Beemester Stadium here in Millersville University at Chris Field. So, by the way, to let you know, this game presented by Serve Pro, WeatherTight Exteriors, TapeMeUp.net, and Patillo Companies. Want to thank all of them for sponsoring this contest. So this has been a pretty good one.
It's been a great game so far. Dave Legree has been showing out. Evan Morrell has been showing out, and I'm loving it. Look,
here's
right
a
back
pass
to
as a
him.
one-hopper to Morrell. It's incomplete. That was a 1-yard loss on the first play. That's incomplete. So here we go again. Haven't we seen this before?
Yeah.
3rd and double digits, and we'll see what Legree has for magic here. The rain has stopped here in Millersville, but, of course, the wet field conditions are going to remain the rest of the way.
Still affect the ball game.
And it's also going to affect the ball, how it's handled. And when the Owls get the football, watch the center to quarterback snap. Because even in the dry weather before the inclement got here, there were problems with that as well. But we'll get to it again when the Owls return with the offensive possession. Here they're going to triple the left side, 3rd and 16. And evidently another jump, which is going to force another 5-yard penalty or a delay of game, actually, against the Hitmen. So you can make it 3rd and 21. And Dave's like, 3rd and 21, no problem. I'll find something.
Yeah. Normally, the last 2 times they had 3rd down penalties. I think we ended up with 2 touchdowns. So,
all right, so they just started a 25-second clock.
are they going to move the yard marker? Oh, they already.
Yeah, they already have it. It's 3rd and 21, and the Hitmen are at the 39-yard line of the Owls. Big play. They go spread this time. A lot of yelling on both sidelines. There's the snap with 6 on the clock. Legree back, looking, has time. He's going to fire it, and it's a one-hopper, incomplete.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So now 4th and 21. That was intended for Vito Hatchell, who had the first touchdown reception to open the game, but couldn't quite come up with that. I'll tell you, we've seen a lot of that from Legree today, so that's kudos to the Owls defense and Lester Cream designing very nicely.
I'm not sure if it looked like he wobbling a little bit, so maybe he tweaked something. Then maybe that's why his passes have been coming up a little short, but could be the Owls defense just getting just a little bit of pressure, making him just a little bit uncomfortable than what he's knowing.
Of course, I wouldn't know what goes on the field. It could be a whole bunch of different things or something we wouldn't have a clue would be the case. And now, well, yeah, we do have another delay of game. And that's not a bad thing if you're the Hitman, because
I'm not going to say nothing this time.
You're giving more room.
Last time I said that, we got a 10-yard punt. So
the idea, Reese, is to pin inside the 10 if you can.
I'm going to let you take the credit this time.
I won't, because the snap is coming. It was almost blocked.
And this was actually
a
good
better punt, but it's going to roll, and it's going to take a bounce and be down inside the 20, which is fair enough, down to the 14-yard line. So now the Owls have a long way to go, but they got plenty of time. With just under 14 minutes left in regulation, they're only down 2.
Yeah, the Owls need to do something this drive. The last drive, they got 1 first down and couldn't finish a drive. I think they got a penalty, messed them up, or it was a bad snap.
All right, so the Owls have it 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. By the way, the other game looking very good for the Herd. They're up 14-0 on the Jackals, and the Herd are driving at last check. So
And it's fourth quarter, so.
that's correct. So we'll update when necessary. But we do know it's a fourth quarter. We don't know how much time's left. We're not worried about that at the moment. We're worried about time left here, which is 13:51. Here's a handoff, and that's going to it's Dimitri who fakes it.
Yeah.
And fakes it himself. He gets to about the 22-yard line.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they're going up tempo here. A gain of 8 for Dimitri. He may only have 81 pass yards, but he's doing the damage with his
He
legs.
definitely got about 50 to 60 yards rushing.
And we can certainly check that if necessary. But here on second down, this is a handoff, and the Hitmen were ready for that one as a wave of tacklers come in. We'll see where they spot the ball. Look, could be very close. And once again, it's Micaiah Caesar who was able to come through. And, now a late flag is down as well. Yeah, it looked like the spot originally looked like it was almost right at the first down marker, and then they adjusted it, and now a flag came down, so the officials are discussing with exactly 13 minutes left. Now, we could see offsetting penalties here, but we don't know. That's why the officials are discussing.
I don't know if the ref threw a flag or if he threw 2 flags. It looked like maybe he threw it and he felt like it didn't go far enough, and he picked it up on the way out and threw it again, but I'm not 100%.
And I think what's going to happen here, as I think we're going to do something a little bit different if you pay attention to the screen. Peekaboo.
Got light,
That's
too.
me on the left, and Reese is on the right-hand side.
Reese Goodwin.
And the crazy one, Tom Wilkins. What do you expect?
The legend.
I don't know about that, but by the way, they did call offsetting penalties, but we definitely hope everybody's enjoying this broadcast of this Hitmen Owls game. Make sure you subscribe to HSG Network. We have almost 1,900 people have checked into this game, so please make sure you subscribe and everything else. And I'll tell you this much. Considering the way this game is, we got a heck of a lot more in the month of June here on HSG Network. Playoffs, of course, for the Den, and a lot more stuff coming up later in the summer.
And this is a great game, and I know why 1,900 people didn't came in here.
And there probably will be more. So it is first down to 24. It's a keeper by Davis, and he's able to squirrel his way to the 26. So a 2-yard pickup there. They did give the first down after a consultation and offsetting penalties. So
I didn't even know it was a first down.
Yeah, they spotted it the first down, and they backed it up, and then they reset it. And then upon measuring, that's how the first down happened.
All right.
So the ball's at the 26 now. It's 2nd and 8, just outside the 26, we'll say. So Davis has a long way to go, but they got off to a pretty nice start. And they have plenty of time to work with.
They don't need to score on this drive, but they should want to.
Well, they also need to make sure they conduct their time appropriately. Here's a handoff up the middle, going past the 31-yard line. Caesar again. So Barnes with the stop. I'm sorry, Thomas. I beg your pardon. Nathaniel Barnes with the stop. So makes it 3rd and 4 after this 4-yard pickup. So I think the big question is now 3rd and 4. What do you do here?
If I'm the Owls, I'm probably going to maybe get a little bootleg action. But if I do want a bootleg, I'm going to make sure I run away from number 84.
And you kind of have to do that because you know they're going to be pressuring one way or the other.
And he is getting in the backfield. He's not getting close enough to finish to get the sack.
3rd and 4 from the 31. A quick shot, pass caught, and getting a first down, crossing the 35 to the 37 and losing the helmet right after that, which I believe automatically ends the play. That's going to be a first down.
Nadir Smith.
Yep, Nadir Smith. Minus the helmet. So the play ends with a 6-yard job, and the Owls continue to move the chains and get another first down. So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of hard pushing and shoving and stuff like that, but obviously for safety reasons, you cannot continue once a helmet goes off.
Yeah.
So we just found out the Herd have defeated the Jackals by a count of 14-0. So the Herd do their job. So they're either going to be the 3 or the 4 seed when this night is over. And this game will determine a lot of that. Now, a delay of game call is going to be called on the Owls. And obviously they're not too happy about it. Oh, and now, hold on now. We see, Sean, you see the gentleman talking to the official. He's on the field talking to the official, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening here.
I think he's saying since the helmet came off that he needed to push the play clock up.
They may disregard the foul, and they may have to reset the game clock. I don't know.
I think they reset it because the helmet came off.
All right. Oh, wow. So they did they end up with a 5-yard penalty after all. Oh, goodness. Well, and you got an extra set of eyes. You catch things that I don't, so I can't get everything.
Yeah.
First and 15 from the 32. We get a handoff, sneaking through one tackle and getting to about the 30. Oh, he's going to get to about the 37 before getting thrown back, so he gets the penalty yardage right back. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Caesar was the one with a carry, and it forces 2nd and 10. So needless to say, for the Owls, I mean, they may have gotten hit with a delay of game, but now they got to fight back. It's actually a 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 11 is going to be the count here. What do you think the Owls do?
2nd and 11, you got to make it a 3rd and easy. A 3rd and easy, maybe about 3rd and 4. So you probably, I don't know what they're thinking if they're going to run, but I'm going to go for like maybe a short pass just to get it 3rd and short.
I was going to go Dimitri, but he's going to go back and pass. He's going to lob one, but he lobbed one way too high. It's incomplete. It did look like the intended receiver. I don't know if he stopped his route or not, but that went toward Dustin Singleton, but there was no way he was going to reach that, and it forces a 3rd and 11.
I felt like he was being greedy.
I mean, one never knows. I mean, I probably would have gone with Davis trying to run, get some more yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's what he's been doing best here.
3rd and short, but for the Owls, with their snapping problems they've been having tonight, I'm pretty sure this is 2-down territory anyway. So,
I mean, would you say they're a passing team, or is it
heavy on the passing? But Makai's been doing great today, but normally they're heavy on the passing.
All right, here's Davis on 3rd down. There's a flag down. The pass is going to be caught inside the 40, but be careful. There might be an offensive holding call, and the Owls are pleading their case. Indeed, it is a hold against the Owls. That was a nice pass play, but remember, the Hitmen were victim to that twice on 3rd downs in the first half, and now it happens to the Owls.
The way number 64 body language was, it looked like it was on him, who I think is the center.
But whatever it is a huge penalty. Then the offensive line cannot afford to make these mistakes here, especially this late in the game. So another 10-yard penalty, and now the Owls, they were hit with what the Hitmen had in their last drive. A 3rd and 21, but this is in their own territory, back at the 27-yard line. So is it a pass, or is it going to be a designed run for Davis? I guess you're just trying to see how Reese is trying to stare and see, okay, how are the Owls going to line up, and they're going to spread out like both teams have done most of the way. So let's see on 3rd and 21 what Davis does.
Call for this.
Back to pass, looking. And he dumps it off, but it's only going to be for nothing. No game on the play. So a surprise call, but then again, the Hitmen were coming.
Yeah, and they had everything covered.
So that was John Harris with the catch then, the man from Darby, and it was no gain on the play. Yeah. So now 4th and 21, you kind of have the punt.
Penalties put them in a bad position.
Well, all of a sudden, we got some fireworks going on to the right side of the field there. You might be hearing in the microphone in the background. But Owls are getting ready to punt.
Yeah,
but again, they're rushing people on the field with 6 on the play clock. They may have to take another delay of game. We've seen a lot of it. And
take a delay of game.
Yep, it happened again. Another delay of game.
Don't waste the timeout because you're gonna need it. If you get a good defensive stop, maybe a 3 and out, you should still get the ball back with maybe 3 minutes left.
And the thing is, too, you have to train yourselves to get on quick and pay attention to every little detail of the game because you just don't know when your time is coming.
Yep.
You have to be ready to be on that field.
See, without them penalties, it's a good punt.
That's a good one. It's going to take an Owls bounce. It rolls, and it will stop at the 30, just shy of the 34-yard line. So that's where the Hitmen will have it first down, just under 7 minutes left and up by 2. And now the Owls defense will need to really dig in.
The Owls defense need to they got their backs against the wall. Might not, maybe, with the way the clocks run, I would say they got to get you don't have to get a 3 and out, but 2 first downs, you're looking at under 2 minutes with the ball. So I would hope they can get a 3 and out. And if you Hitmen, do you try to get the first down or do you just run?
Well, this is where your 1-2 punch comes into play. You've got Marquise Edwards, who's the hard hitter, and then you got the slick one, Cody Lamoureux. So you're probably going to see a heavy dose of both of them probably on this drive.
Or a heavy dose of Legree.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Don't forget about Russo and Legree. Legree still stands in a shotgun. He's going to take it himself. Has a hole down to the 40, down to the 43-yard line. So he got 9 on that play. Now, Legree might be under 50% in passing today, but out of his 9 completions, 3 of them have been for touchdowns, and 100 of those 165 yards have been for those touchdown receptions.
Legree has played magnificent.
The one thing that Legree hasn't done, he's made very minimal mistakes.
If you take away maybe maybe like 3 to 4 skip passes he had, he would be 13 for 19 and probably have 200 plus yards. But got to give Owls defense some credit.
Well, they got Lamoureux, and I think he's running into a wall, but I think he's going to get a first down, and he's still going past midfield down to the 43 of the Owls. I'll tell you, Cody Lamoureux just would not stop moving his feet, and he bowls his way through for a 14-yard gain and a first down for the Hitmen.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got out of there.
And here comes a flag. There might have been a little bit of jawing after which.
I don't know how he got out of there.
I mean, that's one. We will see if they are also offsetting penalties, but we'll find out in just a moment.
Only on the lineman, 97.
I have no idea what they're going to do, but we do know it's a first down for the Hitmen.
Did he give it to both of them, or he just said it was a first down after the 15-yard penalty?
Well, we're going to see what they decide to do with the ball. The line of gain is the 42, so that was a 15-yard run for Lamoureux.
Since it was a dead ball, I think they just go back 15.
Yeah, it was after the play. But you know what? We're not speculating here. We're just seeing what they're doing. The officials,
the game.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
The game has been very clean, but we've seen a lot of personal fouls today.
Yeah, a ton of them. A lot
of offsetting ones,
but
too.
this one's going to be against the Owls. 15 yards going to the 27-yard line. And they did point the Owls' direction when they made the signal. So a huge penalty against Tri-County, and now the Hitmen are in business.
In the first half, the Hitmen was getting all the penalties that was costing them, and now the Owls are getting a lot of the penalties that are costing them.
It's funny. It's funny how the Hitmen, teams like this, it seems like they get all the penalties, and all of a sudden they manage to find a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing when you think about it.
The Hitmen had
Here's a pass, and that's going to be for a loss of yardage.
Way to stay in bounds, young fella.
Down, and it looks like about the 30-yard line. Looked like Europe finally made a completion there, but he ends up losing 2 on the play. So it's 2nd and 12, and now, and I think maybe Legree wanted to get to 50-50 here. And we're coming up on 5 minutes still time, and the Hitmen up by 2. Let's see how they line up here on 2nd and 12.
The Hitmen are using a lot of clock.
Well, that's what you do. You're up 2.
Yeah.
And here's your 7-minute offense here pretty much.
Using a lot of clock.
And there's a handoff this time to about, 25, 24-yard line. And there's, looked like a dog pile there. We thought the ball came out. That's not the case. But it's a good run for Lamoureux. They're going to spot the 24 and a gain of 6.
Now they just, the Hitman is just like pushing people over and pushing people over the pile. Me, as a smaller defensive lineman guy, I hated this.
Well, you also got to remember that when you're back on your heels, you know these offensive lines are going to get strong, either going to get stronger or weaker depending on how you hold up. And whether it's a case of discipline or conditioning or both, that's where you end up having the end result. And based upon what we're seeing right now, it does look like the Hitmen's offensive line has worn down the defense of the Owls. But now a timeout called by the Hitmen, their 2nd of the half.
Yeah, they wasted a lot of time in the huddle. They didn't even come out of the huddle. But it's not a bad timeout.
Yeah, we're going to keep it here. So why don't we go and get another shot in?
Yeah, it was a great timeout for the Hitmen. You can't take them with you. An extra timeout, get your lineman just a little bit, 30-second extra breath.
Well, maybe about a minute, but I'll tell you right now, I think this more benefits the Owls that the Hitmen called that timeout, only because they have all 3 of theirs, and if somehow something happens on the next play, they have it ready and they have all their timeouts at their disposal, even though there's under 4 minutes left.
Yeah. They almost got a delayed game also, so they had no choice but to call a timeout. But
especially this time of the game, this is where things can really, really come big. They have reset the clock to 3:50 following the timeout. So here's the story. 1 timeout left for the Piranha. I'm sorry, not for the Piranha. I've called them that a couple of times today. Then again, hey, we go old school and then we go new school. For the Hitmen, 1 timeout, and for the Owls, all 3 of their timeouts. So the Owls are still in the game. It's just a matter of who on defense is going to come up big for Lester Cream's group.
The Owls can't let them score. And if they do let them score, they can't let them get a field goal or a 2-point conversion, because then the game is going to be basically out of reach for 9 points.
Well, consider this much. It's 3rd and 6. They could get a first down, again, the red zone, the 18-yard line. If they at least prevent the Hitmen from crossing the line again at the 18, then you're in good shape. But here we go with 3rd and 6 and the 24. It's Legree taking itself. They won't stop him. He gets the first down to 17. He gets shoestring tackled.
Looks like he came up short.
I think he got it.
Looked like he came up short.
Oh, man, you might be right. He might be short by about half a yard.
Oh, I don't know who number that was that made the tackle, but you saved 43. You saved him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cameron Clemens has come up huge with that one. So Legree ends up only getting 5, and it is now 4th and a yard, and I'm pretty sure this is a go-for-it territory, because you got a first down here. You force the timeouts to be used by the Owls.
This is a huge play right here.
Well, we'll see. Here he comes, and he's got the first down at about the 16-yard line. And Legree also kind of stops where he is. So in the red zone are the Hitmen, as we're down to under 3 minutes. And all they're doing now is melting the clock. And I would have to suspect the Owls will need to use other timeouts, because they get up 1 more first down. This game's over.
Yeah. 1 more first down should definitely put it out of reach, because you figure they got to run 1 play, and then maybe you call another timeout to get some extra time before the 2-minute warning timeout.
You go back to that interception in the end zone. That was probably a turning point of this game.
Yeah. Between that and the penalties that the Owls been having.
Yeah, especially a turn of tables here in the second half. Here's a handoff. that goes to the 13-yard line.
Looked like James Russo.
Yep, James Russo that time, and they only gave him 2. And now the Owls will use a timeout. So we'll stay here with 2:08 left here.
Yeah.
So timeout called by the Owls. And remember, they still have the 2-minute warning to work with as well.
Yeah. You call that timeout before the 2-minute warning. Get a 2-minute warning timeout. So they need 3 more stops because I'm pretty sure this is always going to be 4th down territory.
I would pretty much say so. But even if they did hold them, they would still have 1 timeout left.
If I'm the Hitman, Dave or Cody is who I want in the game right now. I want one of them to continue this drive and finish this drive out and hopefully get me in the end zone.
And that's really the thing, because we looked at this and the Hitmen got the ball with about 7 minutes left, and they have milked it down to 2:08. So now we know it's a timeout territory here.
5 minutes, probably went about 50 to 60 yards.
And got 3 first downs in the process. But let's also not forget that huge unsportsmanlike penalty that occurred in the middle of this particular drive. That was a killer against the Owls.
Yeah, and it went from being on the 40 to being on the 25, which didn't help. You can't, if you want to be a good playoff football team, you can't get penalties in this time of the game.
And the Owls are a seasoned team. I mean, regardless of league, they've won leagues, and so have the Hitmen. So you're looking at 2 very tough teams. Here's a handoff sneaking through inside the 10 down to about the 7, and now they're going to let the 2-minute timeout run as Lamoureux was able to get to about the, I guess, the 8-yard line. So this is going to force a 3rd and 3 after a 5-yard pickup. And now everything has to dig in here. So the 2-minute timeout happens. Owls still have 2 timeouts left. So they stop them short. You can get them to use 1. But then after that, I mean, really a first down here ends the game.
Yeah, because you only got 1 timeout. You only got 2 left. You only use 1, so you got 2
Yeah, it
left.
wouldn't matter even if you stopped the clock at that point. They'd be able to run it down the rest of the way. So
basically, it wouldn't even be enough time. The Owls don't have a quarterback that can throw a Hail Mary 90 yards.
Well, you have to consider one of the throws that Davis made that was more like a helicopter than a spiral.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 3. They're going to spot the ball at the 9. The 6 kind of gets you the game here. Legree waits. You know the Owls are going to come charging. They just the fake. Oh, and they hold him back. They hold him back.
Oh, Gleaves.
And now
Gleaves.
All right, and Gleaves was able to bring Legree down, and now a timeout. Is it called again?
Timeout. They should have called timeout.
Yeah, now they do. Minute 45 left, and the Owls use their 2nd timeout. I'm surprised they didn't call right away after that play.
4th and 5. Do you go for the touchdown? Because either way, the clock is going to be stopped.
And I have to also say, Reese, I mean, it could be a couple of different ways. I mean, you could pull off what the Chiefs did to clinch the Super Bowl and just catch it like inside the 5 and then just slide down without scoring, keep the clock running. Or you score a touchdown, you miss the extra point, they have to kick off, and if that's run back for a touchdown at 2, you got to tie a game.
Yeah.
So you got to consider a lot of things. A first down wins the game, and basically they have to get anywhere between the goal line and 6.
How the Hitmen been playing, I think they're going to go for the win. I don't think they're just going to run the ball. I think they're going to try to go for the end zone. Dave Legree has been throwing tight window passes, so I think you're going to put the ball in his hand and let him work his magic. The Owls have to defend, though. You can't let them get anything out of this. You have to get the ball back now if you even want a chance to win.
All right, well, we're about to find out. That was, by the way, a 2-yard loss on Legree's part. So, hey, and they've made 4th and goal from the 17. I mean, to them, this is nothing, 4th and 5. But remember, football's a crazy game. You can't predict it. Strange things happen. I'm sure you've seen it many a time.
I've been on both ends of them.
All right, here we go from the 10. 4th and 5. They get to the 6, and a first down. This is history. Let's see what Legree does. They make him charging. He's back. He's going to pass. Now he decides to run. Now he fires too high and incomplete.
I knew he was going to pass, but you got to go for the pass.
So
Don't
it's
get a
not
penalty.
over yet. And now there's a flag. Now there's a flag down the
It's
end of the
dead
play.
ball, though. Dead ball.
But who is it on?
Dead ball.
Do we know?
It should be regardless turnover on downs, though, right?
Yeah, it should be turnover on downs, but I would have to think there's offsetting penalties. Legree had to absolutely rifle that one, but I don't know who was the intended receiver in the end zone. Didn't quite work out, but now the Owls are up against it. Depending on what the penalty is.
This penalty isn't going to do too much harm to the Owls because they're already way back. It may go to the 6.
Well, it happened after the play.
Yeah, so it should be the Owls' ball regardless.
So worst case scenario for them, they're back to the 5. Best case scenario, it's at the 25.
Yeah, and they really need that.
But the officials are still discussing what's going on here, a 2-point game. And for all of you checking us out here on HSG Network, we can't thank you enough. We've had a ton of people watching this game, and it's been really a fantastic finish to the Den season. And, of course, playoffs begin next week. Please remember, subscribe to HSG Network on YouTube. We certainly have a lot more coming. We got playoffs coming over the next couple weeks. We have other events we'll be doing throughout the summer and especially the fall. So this is going to be a good summer here for HSG Network. So come follow us, and, hey, we appreciate all your supports.
Today was a great game for football. We'll hope the whole playoff atmosphere continues to be like this.
But we have a final chapter still, and that's a minute 41 left.
So was it offsetting penalties?
All right, so what happened was we had a personal foul and an unsportsmanlike. So offsetting fouls, so that means the Owls will start from the 10 with a minute 41 and 1 timeout left.
Another set of offsetting penalties.
And remember, they don't have a kicker, so they here we go. Back is Davis. He's looking, waiting. Got to take a shot down the field, and that pass is caught at the 31-yard line for a first down.
Number 18.
Nice grab on the part of Robert Sims. 21-yard pickup. And now the Owls fast forward. They have only 1 timeout left. Don't forget, they tripled the left on 1st and 10. It was actually a 22-yard gain.
And Demetrius just went over 100 yards for passing.
And here's another one. Pass is caught to 35. Oh, a high tackle, but it's a 3-yard pickup.
By Micaiah.
It looked like a Caesar caught it, so another 3 yards. Now the clock's in the red, under a minute.
They gotta speed this up.
And they have 1 timeout.
Y'all need to get in the end zone.
I think they got to go sideline to sideline here if they're going to conserve time.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not rushing. Pass left side, and it's incomplete. Probably went to the coach. Looked like
Yeah, Butch Dover was open there.
Oh, my gosh.
He forgot Butch wasn't playing.
Yeah, but everyone has a white shirt on for the Owls today. But anyway, it is 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. If anything, the Owls can catch their breath. They have 42 seconds left, but they have to play sideline to sideline here.
Yeah, either you're going to try to go over the top, or you're going to get to the sidelines.
Or what about the defense?
The defense, I like cover 2 in this. I'm gonna go man and cover 2 because Demetrius is a runner, so you don't want him to.
Well, on that 3rd down play, it's incomplete. They went to Sims again, but he was actually open. The throw was off guard. So now 39 seconds left and 1 last shot for the Owls. So,
see, this is the tough part because if you're the Hitmen, do you go prevent? And I hate prevent. I hate prevent.
You see their safeties on this 4th down play. I mean, they are back in plus territory. I mean,
so if you want to run prevent, I'm just going to run outs and get out of bounds right every 10 yards.
Well, they have to get out of bounds one way or another. They have 1 timeout left, but essentially they have to get a first down first.
This could be the last play, almost the last play of the game, basically.
Well, this play will tell pretty much everything. On 4th and 7, here comes the pass incomplete, and it looks like the Hitmen are going to hang on to this one.
hold on to the number 2 seed.
Yes, they will. 34 seconds left. The throw was a bit offline by Davis. I mean, he had a good first play, but unfortunately, the Hitmen defense was up to the task, and it looks like they will be the 2 seed at the end of this one.
So they got to take it 1-0.
Yeah, they're going to go victory
All right,
formation despite the fact there's one timeout left.
So does the Herd go to number 3 because they beat the Owls already? And then the Jackals go to 6, which is a rematch in Jackson this time.
So that means the Owls go to 4 then.
Yeah.
So the Herd people watching will be happy to know that the Herd will be the 3 seed with their 14-0 win. The Owls with the loss, they'll be the 4 seed. And the Central Penn and the Unit will be 5, the Jackals 6.
Yeah,
So,
and the Jackals and the Herd have a rematch back-to-back weeks. But now that Herd will be home. Yep.
So so I think everything's been set up. The Owls are not going to stop the clock, and all that trash talking and stuff that were on all the message boards online, I think there's going to be a lot more respect when this one's over. So at 9:50 in the p.m., it is a done deal in a couple seconds. The Central Penn Hitmen survive a great effort by the Tri-County Owls and win by a score of 22-20 here at Millersville University. Reese, your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is,
I mean, this is your first broadcast here, so appreciate the great job you've done today.
I had a blast today. It's always fun to be able to watch football, and then to be on this end of the game was even better. Normally, I'm just on the sidelines talking with friends and family members who I come to the games with, but to be up here and to watch it from a different angle is always good.
And I think you had a good first impression right there. So thank you again, Reese, for everything. So we'll wrap it up here. Yeah, you're going to all me here.
No, I'm talking about them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, to all your respect by these 2 clubs. Absolutely. So that's it here from Millersville University. For Howard Gaber and Reese, and of course myself, the crazy one, Tom Wilkins, we wrap it up by saying the final score, the Central Penn Hitmen 22, the Tri-County Owls 20. Thanks for joining us here on HSG Network, and